They fantasize, I analyze, I am the eyes. Yeah. They stand in lie, I stand in truth. That's my I am alive, I am alive, I am alive. I channel God, the frequency lives inside. Delinquencies leap aside, just look inside. I promise you'll find bodies the synagogue. You lie to self, then you sin to God. I take the end of lines, put it in a loop, then I tie a knot. This eternal life, this is Heka'u. We can never die, we are immortalized. They live mortal lives. I am more than man, I have God inside. Whoa. Opened the door and then I got inside. Found my inner child, gave him a hug, told him I love him, we gon' be alright. And then I gave a smile, you made me more than proud. Shed some tears, let us scream aloud, a stand in pride. Grabbed his hand, it was the hand of God, our fingers five. Double time, we put hands to sky. Raise them high, raise them high. This is dua. Praise in self, praise each other, praise to health, that is the root to wealth. Praise comes from per, and it means to sell. See, that's what preachers do, buying souls, selling hell. Disguised as heaven, pushing P. Differences between prophet and prophecy. The Bible is a prop to see the lies of man, portraying God open-eyed to see. Read. Telling tales of wanderings, I've been wondering, they don't know that we're the real wonders. Miracles, when I speak it thunders, literal. You feel it under your flesh when your organs start to rumble. Heartbeat, you're listening to vibrations as my heart speaks. Stretch minds, I have far reach. Raj General, this is me. This is pinnacle. Step on sinister. Everyone is demons these days. Trust me, once you step to us, you will not leave as you came. See, we ain't the same, raising names. Real fame comes from Ba. It means to speak, to say. I have lots to say. My ancestors taught me how to pray, ask and receive. Given that you live in reciprocity, our Ba shall speak through you to give our message of praise. Hands raised, this is dua. This is dua. Light body emerges Kaaba. Give me high five. Hands up. This ain't a stick up. This is dua. Giving praise. They're only giving praise when they receive a raise. Like thank God. I receive a raise as I rise up every single day. Raise comes from res, giving life the sun's rays, hands embrace. Consciousness extinct, even the ones who think they are woke are still asleep. Resi means to watch and it deals with what you see. Resi means to dream and it's the tongue of the speech. Watch what you speak, bring dreams to reality. Watchtower, watch me tower over with power. This is more than album, this is pure magic. Creation vibrations, layers on layers. Prayers on prayers, demon slayers, soul cakes of fire, caught up in a rapture like I need a baker. The Lord has risen, watch the bread rise, to give sustenance. I've seen death eyes, the moon is my left eye. Praise Yah, dua. This is House of Aten. I don't have a mask on, I'll tell you all what happened. I see they got the facts wrong, flow fluid. Walk with ancestors like Anpu is. Who's this? Greek named Anubis. Prove it. I see bodies walking around soulless, clueless. Ani Pata, don't compare me to Steve Jobs. Call me Pata Sakar. If you need to do more research, search Ray. Hands in vagina plays when pray. Spitting seeds into the womb to birth and raise. See, that's parades. Give thanks like it's in your hands. Collecting plates, ancient stele. Step through fire, see we trailblaze. Fate and faith, this is knowledge. Facts will flip a fake. Tell me what's at stake to give thanks. Hands raised, this is dua. This is dua. Light body emerges Kaaba. Give me high five. Hands up. This ain't a stick up. This is dua. SCRIIBE Sessions Volume 1. For the record. Open your eye in alignment with time and you'll see the truth like it's a physical thing. From the darkness I arise, so it's not a surprise when you learn of the light that I bring. As above, so below, I find a rhythm and flow as I grow with the pendulum swing. This is the matrix where everyone's faking they sleep here in life while we wake up in dreams. Shedding the skin like a serpent, this work makes it worse at attaining a purpose. While searching internal, examine what all is in me. Most will not make it, their soul cannot take it. Reality shaking, you've seen what I've seen. Reap what you sow with the weavers of speech, achievers, and this is the read 'em and weed 'em. You cannot read them, vibrations that none of them speak. Walk a MEDU, netter, light is feather is heavy. To learn that your will isn't free, net your willing, I continue to lead with my ebas. I'm sweeping my consciousness clean, training in realms that are unseen. My aura is some set fire to all of the fiends. Stand on my Atef is all seeing I we supply 93, that means we are supreme. Healing through tones on my senses, connecting and this year wealthy is health, this is green. This is illusion, reality veiled in delusion. Thoughts become intrusive, it's foolish to not know by now that it ain't what it seems. This is way more than belief, I see clearly the lies. My six senses of sight are hypnotized, no wonder everyone sleeps. Open your eyes. It's time to set off the alarm, the performance self-harm. Don't you know you're a star, God in human form, and you rise with the beast. More than man, bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper. Seeing the state of the planet, the damage, the famines expanding beyond your belief. I see they landed, they've handed the people a cannon and aiming it right at your feet. Blowing a hole where you're standing, creating the panic. The tactical planning is deep. Teaching you're only a man and the God is in heaven, the seventh outside of your reach. If you're the question, they'll call you a manic, frantic, erratic, depression, demonic. When you're teaching through the magical speech, they'll call you serpent, the one in the garden. Pardon my knowledge for having the knowledge and prowess to see. He really told the truth to Adam and Eve. You'll have distinction between good and evil if you eat of the fruit of the tree. Now you're a god, open your eye, cleansing yourself so that now you can see. They stole the stories and twisted them like it's a spliff. They put the fire to leaf, I put the fire to speech, I put the fire to heat. We don't do liars and thieves, they just desire to greed. This is my record to keep, this is my throne. You cannot sit in my seat, and I command it. I give more than 10 commandments. This is the law of attraction, and we have infinite stamina. My stage is where I'm standing. This is my art, God is in me. I only keep goddesses with me. They are the magical beings, they are the holy ones, birthing the gods. We're overcoming the odds. We are the even and odd. They're in the odds, we're in the all. Ancestors answer my prayers, forever grateful. I will forever say thank you. Inspiration to awake the sleepers. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I said, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I said, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper.
You and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of MAAT, and may you rise and come forth as conscious light, like the divine Ra, who rise and shine forevermore, MAAT. Hotel.
I look outside in all I see are people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. Look outside in all I see are people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu. I am in mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword swang, samurai. I am Shem, Su, Hor, son of Heheru. I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu. I am in mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword swang, samurai. I am Shem, Su, Hor, son of Heheru. Words powerful, Hekau. See proof, you can feel the roots. Gone, just look up, I am proof. Breaking doors down, make some room. But I is now speaking through me and trust me.
Hotep, peace and love, great brothers. Can y'all hear me?
Peace, peace, yes.
Peace, Hotep. Welcome to the house of ATEN. Ancient Tehuti and Teachings of the Natiru presents The Lion in Search of Man by the mighty Atef Rem MAAT. Before I introduce these brothers on the panel, we will begin as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Unki MAAT, Un-N-S, Nintet or Set MAAT, Menhepapet MAAT, Her-In-Hu-Kui, Her-E-Ku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Peace and love, everybody. I'm going to introduce everybody on the panel. First, we have the mighty scribe, Ani Patah Aten Tehuti. Ani Patah Aten Tehuti is a teacher of knowledge, a spoken word artist, a creator, awakening the sleepers and healing the chosen ones through sound vibrational tone and conscious thought. He's the Sab, the wisdom door opener, and the lead organizer of the House of Aten movement. Next, we have the mighty Menku Ara Mary Ma'at. Menku Ara Mary Ma'at is a student of the master teacher, Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, and a follower of Ma'at. Menku Ara is the Heb, the festivities organizer in the House of Aten. He's a cultural enlightenment advisor and a teacher, developer of the Pathways to Awakening, a director and producer of documentaries, and a researcher of ancient civilizations, and a researcher of the knowledge of spells. Next, we have the mighty Primordial Thought 9, is a seeker of divine wisdom, the wisdom with universal structure, the wisdom that remains the same from every perspective, the wisdom that adapts to any interaction, the wisdom that creates silence, the wisdom that sustains the House of Aten. Prime, you got to send me your new Ren, formerly known as Prime.
Hey, we are now the Jed, the Jim, my I him T Pauku, and new and Hotep.
Hotep, here new. I see it on the thing. I couldn't read it. It's too small. I got you. I'm going to update it, guys. Hotep, peace and love. And your presenter for the night is none other than the mighty Atef Rem MAAT. Atef Rem MAAT, I am the esteemed steward of the Venerable House of Aten. As a devoted disciple of the master teacher, the illustrious Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, I proudly undertake the role of the sagacious host for the weekly gathering within the sacred halls of the House of Aten. Here we delve into the profound teachings that illuminate the path of Ma'at. In the sacred sanctuary of the House of Aten, I guide fellow seekers on a journey of enlightenment and understanding, drawing from the wellspring of ancient wisdom. Our gatherings are profound explorations into the depths of truth, meticulously deciphered through the lens of ancestral artifacts and the profound teachings bestowed upon us by the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. My commitment to the pursuit of wisdom extends beyond the confines of our weekly gatherings. As a true-hearted devotee of truth, I strive to embody the essence of Ma'at in all aspects of life. Expressing unwavering love for my people, my soul resonates with the harmonious frequencies of the MEDU nature. I stand as a loyal guardian of Ma'at, steadfastly defending the sacred principles that govern our existence within the House of Aten. Peace and love, Hotep. You want me to reintroduce you?
Hey, you good? Hey, whatever's on the eve, you know I'm supporting that.
Formerly known as Primordial Thought 9. Introduce yourself, great brother.
Yes, and new and Hotep. I am the great, the Jed, the Jim, my I him T Pauku. We here in the building, Hotep Marie.
Peace and love. Congratulations on your new ring, great brother. Yes.
Hotep, peace.
Happy to be here, brother. I had a long week. Oh man, it's so busy. It's almost like it's like non-stop, man. But I'm loving it because it's a beautiful time to be alive. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to be grateful for what you got. I got some news that Might not be good, could be good. I don't know, but everything is a challenge that needs to be overcame. And you know, we just got to keep on pushing, man. So I'm glad to be here with you, brothers. I'm glad to present. Do a lot of reading, a little less visuals this time, but you know, we're gonna do what we do, brothers. So House of ATEN, peace and love. Minku, you looking we got on the same shirt. Minku, you got yours on?
You already know we in sync. You already know we gotta come forth as conscious cool.
Okay.
Yo, congratulations to Jim on your new Ren for this new beginning, for this spiritual awakening. We're so excited. We're so proud of you. Peace and love to everyone that came out to the Pathways to Awakening. Hotep Hinu, to our master teacher Saba Tehuti. We hope that you are well. Tua, for everything that you bring and gave to us at the Pathways. It's a new day, and let's shine and be powerful.
Hotep.
Hey, I'm gonna just say, it was a beautiful opportunity to sit and converse with Saba. It was almost interview-like. I got to sit and just talk to him, just rap a taste, you know what I mean? Just be able to sit there and just say what was ever on my eve. It was a beautiful thing. Got to engage with ATEN, his serpent. That was beautiful. Gabriella got to hold him. She broke that fear of snakes. You know what I mean? That was a beautiful thing, man. The Pathways was phenomenal. I love that I got to converse with so many like-minded individuals. The family of the House of ATEN. It was just a beautiful thing, man. It was worth it. I enjoyed it, and man, I hope we don't got to wait another year to come together, because that was a beautiful thing.
I agree, great brother. I hope we don't have to wait another year as well. Can we? Okay, I was just about to say the frequency is not right without Ani Patah here, so we want to welcome Ani Patah to the chamber. Peace and love, great brother. How you doing?
Peace and love, great brother. Let me turn that off there. Let me turn one thing off so I don't hear myself.
I think your mic went up. Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, yes, Hotep Hinu, great brothers. Hotep, great Minku Ara, Mary MAAT, the great Atef Rem, Kim MAAT, who is just cert right now. Hotep Hinu to the great the Jed, Sajim, Ma'ah, Shemet, Pauku, the great brother. Tua Hinu to you, great brothers. Yes, I'm very happy. Want to say Tua Hinu to everyone who is watching live. Peace and love to everyone. And yes, Tua to the great everyone who came out to the Pathways to Awakening. Everyone who got their Pathways to Awakening shirt, limited edition. Tua Hinu to you all. It was such a beautiful weekend. So much took place, and yes, I'm just super grateful to everyone, and to the great Saba, and to everyone who assisted in making that a reality. The great Sinet, Nana, and she was doing a lot. She definitely was doing a lot. So Tua to her, and to Titi Amun, and to all the ladies who were there, doing what you did to make sure that there was sustenance at the Pathways to Awakening. And no matter what took place, everyone still banded together and completed it. So that was very beautiful to observe and witness. So to all the Hemet of the House of ATEN, much love and gratitude to you all, and to all the great brothers who came, and we got to share space and converse and, you know, speak about topics that, you know, you can't speak about most likely in your everyday domains. So for everyone to come together and to be able to speak on these very complex and deep topics is always a beautiful thing to have a space where that can happen. So to everyone who participated in the Pathways to Awakening 2024 and made this event a success. And of course, want to give dua and hinu to the great Saba Tehuti for coming out, and as he made a public announcement yesterday concerning the podcast for yesterday, and how he had a injury, but still continue to come to the Pathways and spend all that time with us. And to him, to the great Saba for that, and doing the Ren ceremony, which was about 2 hours of a Ren ceremony. And as you see, the great brother formerly known as Primordial Thought 9 on the panel as the Jed Sajim, great pillar he is. So we got some very Nefer footage. We got some wonderful footage of the entire event that we are putting together to allow everyone the opportunity to have that. For those who also receive their RENs, you'll have the ability to also receive the footage of your REN. Saba Tehuti providing you your REN. So we are working on that in the background, and it's very powerful, very Nefer footage. So the footage for this year compared to last year is much more. There's much more of it, so that's a beautiful thing. And yes, to Ahinu, to let's see who's all here with us. We got Hush Nation, Otep, the great. His brother participated in the talent show and came out victorious. Did some tones, did some wonderful performing. I'm sitting over there in the back at I was the DJ at the Pathways to Awakening. So I was in the back playing the music, and I heard him rocking out, and I had to peek around the corner. I had to watch him live because he was definitely doing his thing. So Tuai Hinu to the great Hush Nation. We have Minty Hotep Hinu, Par Aten Neb Marie Kess. Yes, Tuai to you, Minty. It was excellent to see you as well. Tuai for coming out. And we have the great moderator of the House of Aten, Amun Ka Tut Tehuti, who also received his Ren. This was formerly known as Anu, who is now Amun Ka. As you see here, the great moderator of the House of Aten, and his lovely echo, Amanet Kat. Es Ankh Tut Tehuti. So Tua to both of you for all that you do. Amanet was fantastic. She assisted in so many ways. She was up with the great Sanet Nana, cleaning, and she was such an amazing hand. So Tua to you, Aminette, for all that you did at the Pathways to Awakening. It's just a beautiful thing. And here's another great brother who received his Ren, formerly known as Black Alucard, who is now Anpu Ma'at Esger Heka. It is wonderful. It's just wonderful. So Hinu and Tua to you, great Anpu. You definitely are wonderful, great brother, very Nefer, and it's an honor to have you within the house of Aten. Yes, very, very, very much gratitude and dua to you, great brother. Jay Kirkland, good to see you here, great brother. Says Hinu Ma'at, Hinu Karu, Hinu HOA, Hinu Saba Tehuti, Hinu to the panel, Hinu Orsin and Sinet, Anku Ja Seneb, infinite gratitude. Wonderful Medu words, great brother. Hinu to you. Definitely glad to see you here. And and here's another great brother. Received his Ren. Well, the other part of his Ren, as he is Oxafet. Ba Satut. Ba Satut. This brother's coming forth as Ba. So, Hinu to you, great brother. Tua for coming out and also assisting in the pathways. And it's just a beautiful thing. Just much gratitude to everyone who came out and supported and participated in this this event, as it's you all who really assist in allowing this to take place and be a reality. So yes, just Tua Hinu, it's wonderful to see the A'ut grow and expand, and we definitely want to get to a point to where we can come together more often. But the Pathways to Awaken is our very first attempt at producing something like that. And we have done it successfully 2 years in a row now. So it's a wonderful thing. So Tua Hinu Hotep Ma Kuru to everyone. And yeah, I'm very thankful and very grateful. So peace and love, Hotep Ma'at. Hotep Jed Sajim, what's on your Eve, great brother? Looking 8K crisp clear. Hotep.
Hey, we back in this thing. Hotep and new great Ani Patah Ten Tehuti. It feels good to have that Ren. Hey, beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. Once again, man, I don't want it just to be the pathways that we come together, man. That was beautiful to be able to converse, come together, be able to speak that MEDU to one another, and it's a beautiful thing, man. There was nothing like those past few days. I definitely appreciate it. I definitely was very grateful, very just all the love, man, that was there. Got to build with Amunettes, got to build with Hush Nation. Man, that was it was all good, man. It was all good. I definitely just I loved every bit of it, man. And I'm gonna just say this, that I can only see it getting better and better. Like I can only see ceremonies like that just evolving, and more ideas, more just participation, just everything. I can just see it growing. So definitely grateful for everything. it was most definitely worth what I paid for. And I just appreciate all of you all. It's just good to have a Ren that matches my brothers. You know, we in the same frequency. That's a beautiful thing. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited that, like I said, I got to spend the time with Saba, man. I got to sit there and chop it up with him. That was that was good. You know what I mean? That was super cool. Hey, man, I'm ready to get a serpent now, man. Gabriella's all good. She done held at 10. She was holding him, guiding him. She's Sama just like broke the whole fear. Yeah, man, it's that time. So I'm most definitely ready for that. I just feel, you know, it's just good, man. When I'm doing my rituals, mirror magic, man, I feel the chills. I feel the chills up me, man, when I speak my rim. It hit different. It hit different than Primordial Thought 9. It hits completely different, and I can feel the power, man. I can feel just that hecka. That's everything to me. So hey, peace and love to all you great brothers, man. It feels good to be up here. Definitely excited for Atef in his presentation. And yeah, man. Hey, I enjoyed every minute with y'all, man. I enjoyed every minute. I enjoyed the jokes with Menku. That was always fun, man. It's always good to joke, man. Joke around, have fun. You know what I mean? Do all the things that you know what I mean? We just enjoy it, man. You just have to be there. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody who missed it, you had to be there. And it was just one of those. It was just one of those moments that was just very nefer. And yeah, that's it, man. I'm excited. So Henu Hotep.
Henu Hotep. Menku Ara, did you get to speak extensively on the pathways, great brother? We want to hear some details from you, great brother.
Peace and love, Hotep, everyone. The pathways was amazing. I mean, y'all said, you know, y'all pretty much covered everything that took place. It was definitely extremely beautiful, extremely powerful, extremely meaningful. All aspects of it was powerful. The Ren ceremony, of course, for me was a beautiful highlight to see the transformation, to build the HOA, to increase in number of people who are united in the frequency and receiving the Ren from our master teacher, Saba Tehuti. Words cannot express how big of a transformation that is. Me and the brothers were speaking in the community Discord about how people have to interact with us when they have to come into contact with us and with all the ones who have a divine name. So that is demanding respect from the matrix when we have a divine Ren. So the event was a huge success. It was wonderful to spend time with everyone. I love going to LA, so it was definitely a vibe. And I'm hoping the next time we get together will be before next year's Pathways to Awakening. Me personally, my personal goal is to go to Ta Marie next year. My personal goal is to be able to go once a year to Smaitawi. So I'm already doing what I need to do
so that I could visit the Ma'at land. So definitely hoping that members of the HOA, we can figure out a way to make that journey together. And we hope that.
All right, to our great brother. Definitely want to hear from the head Ma'at of the pathways, great brother. To for your MEDU. Yes, sending much love and gratitude and Ucha, Seneb, healing energy through the great Saba, allowing him to heal up completely. To our Hotep Hinu, to the great sister Angela Gates, peace and love to you. To for coming out as you do, and spending time with us, great sister. To our Hinu to you. And we have the lovely Nefertatin, who also received the addition onto her Ren. All right, Nefertatin, Sekhet, Ua, Kemet, Sefket. Very powerful Ren. As the 137 constant she comes forward as. So, to our Hinu Hotep, to the great Nefertatinet. All right. Atef Rem Ma'at. You about ready, great brother? Uh-oh, came in.
Oh, tap. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
A little bit. I think I'm ready.
Okay, so before we get started, let me check and see. Okay, yes, there we are. Let me pin the support link at the top of the chat. There it is, Amun Ka, with the link pinned of the support. So for those who are watching on Facebook or Rumble, those links. Say again, great brother.
No, I think Atef is testing out presentation.
Oh, okay. Just one moment, because I'm not on that screen to see. Okay, so yes, the support links are in the description box for those who are watching on Facebook or Rumble. And as the great brother begins his presentation, I will have us go live on Instagram and TikTok as well. So all the links are there, accessible. Please utilize the links to show reciprocity, to show support for what's being created here and what's being cultivated. And so let me just share this screen here so everyone can see it nice and large. We have a new Cash App, the House of ATEN. It previously was just House of ATEN. We no longer have access to that one, so our Cash App is the House of ATEN, and the links will take you directly there. And the PayPal as well, paypal.me/House of ATEN. And be sure if you support on PayPal that you send it as like a gift to a family member, so PayPal doesn't take unnecessary fees from it. And the link that we post is a donation link, so it's an actual donation link to make sure that the HOA gets all that you want to give. We're able to receive it in whole. So to Ahinu, to everyone who supports on these platforms, supports us, and it's you all, the Meru, the great supporters of the House of ATEN, that allows what you see taking place, the continuous growth and expansion and the pathways to awakening and the giveaways throughout the years and everything that we do to build up the community. the followers of Ma'at, the Shimsu Natiru. It's an energetic reciprocity that comes in the form of different forms of today known as currency that allows the growth to expand. So there's a lot of heka that's taking place, and we appreciate everyone who participates in that, in the combatant of this false matrix, and showing support for something that stands for the elimination of that and bringing forth purity to the consciousness of this planet. So dua, much Marie, much love, Mer to the Mer, love to the great supporters of the House of ATEN. All right, Atef Rem Ma'at, are you ready to share your screen? And yes, I'll show. Oh, okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, excellent. So yes, I'll show all the support at the conclusion of the class. So Tua, great sister Angela Gates, I see you sent in the support right when the stream started. Tua, and we'll show it all at the conclusion. All right, go ahead and share your screen, great brother. Atef Rem Ma'at, can you hear me, great brother?
Yeah, I'm setting it out right now, pulling it out.
Okay. Everyone hit the like button. If you have not done so, hit the like button and share this to your platforms. And as we wait for the great Atef to share the screen, let's do something really quick. Let's give a shout out to some of those who have subscribed to the channel here at the House of ATEN. Here we have Zai Za Bros, subscribe to the Per Tua for subscribing. We appreciate that greatly. Daniel Camilo Gamboa also subscribe. Tua Hinu Hotep Ma'akaru. Damon Sims, peace and love. Tua for subscribing, which of course helps the channel grow. Ben Akinyeme, peace and love and hotep to you. Appreciate that. So yes, when you send this out to, throughout the different platforms, everything helps for sure in the expansion of the platform of House of ATEN, of the movement. So Tua Hinu to everyone who does that. Hinu to Amanet for being our social media manager and really doing an excellent job in creating different forms of content for these platforms so we can grow. We want to get Saba, we want to get ourselves in larger rooms, and so it's going to take everyone to assist in that. To get us there. Again, it's an energetic reciprocity. So Tua Inu, Hinu to everyone who does so. All right, great brother. Are you pulled up? You ready?
Hotep, yeah. Can you see my screen?
Okay, let me go here. Okay, yes, we can see your screen.
You see it? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so first of all, I want to give a shout out to everyone, all the family that came to the event. It was great to interact with everyone. As the brother said, definitely don't want to wait another year. I agree with the brother. But it's been very busy for me. Definitely want to give a hinu to our great master teacher, Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. Send you much much health, and healing. And I hope everything works out with you, great teacher. Great Saba, I hope you're feeling well. And to the great brothers, everyone that received their RINs, it's always good to see family, man. It was a great experience. Second one in a row that was definitely filled with a lot of love. I had to run. I wanted to hang out longer. It's like being in this matrix. It's just ridiculous because I wanted to spend more time. I wanted to hang out more. So I'm definitely with you on that, great Primal, the Jed, because I definitely would like to be closer to everyone, especially closer to Saba. I definitely want these types of events and events like this. Anytime we can come together and be close is a good thing. I had received some not great news from somebody in my family, so I gotta travel to go see them. So it's just a lot going on, very challenging situations been happening in my life, but everything is designed to make you better. So that which doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. So with this reading, right, I was I was trying to find what I was gonna read, right? Y'all know how I go. And I found this story in Merriam Litchum's Volume 3. And the story is called The Lion in Search of Man. Now, when I began to read it, it seemed very familiar to me. So I went back to some of the classes that the brothers did, and I'm like, well, maybe someone else read it, or I was looking for it. Maybe Saba taught on it, and I couldn't find very much, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to read it. And so I began my process of presenting. Y'all know I'm a baby, so I'm still trying to learn, right? So I find this beautiful story, and it's very short. So I read it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do this, and then I'll do another short story, right? This is what I'm thinking. I'm going to read this story, and then I'm going to go find another short one. And I ended up finding one called The Red Crown. Although I'm not going to present that today because something very never happened as I was beginning my process with this. Now, I know you guys are used to the long visuals that I normally do, and I do have some visuals for this, but this is going to be more of like my old one where I just do a lot of the reading. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is, so the story is very short in Merriam Litchum's Volume 3, page 151. The story is very short. So I take for granted that this story will be easy to research, right? Because I don't know if any of you in the chat have ever heard of this story, but when I asked the great brother Ani, he said that he wasn't that familiar with it. He said he hadn't got that far in the book. So I was surprised, but he did give me some resources to go to try to go research, because we like to present the papyrus and a lot of the ancestral artifacts to coincide with the things that we speak about, right? So he gave me a resource, and needless to say, it went over my head. The great Ani is a master student. That brother is phenomenal. And he gave me this website to search, but it was last year when he gave me the website. So I don't remember how to go and do it because the website basically translates languages, because a lot of the papyruses and stuff were translated in other languages, right? So I took it for granted, and but at that time it went over my head, and I meant for him to show me this time while we were at the Pathways, but it was just very busy and there was a lot going on. But anyway, so I'm going to do my research on this story. Very short story. I think I'm going to be able to do 2 of these. Very Nefer presentations. This is what's in my mind. So I'm doing my research. There's another great website that we go to. Remember, I'm a baby, so all of you that are very new to this, pay attention, right? So there's a website that we go to called the Internet Archives, and I'm going to do my research, and lo and behold, that site was shut down for quite some time, maybe a couple of weeks, at least a week, maybe a couple. So I can't get no research done from that website, which has a lot of old books, a lot of old papyruses, so on and so forth. Okay, so now I'm stuck. That's resource number 2. Resource number 1 is the website that Ani gave me, where it translates the different languages, the papyruses, and so on and so forth, right? But there is a learning curve to that. When he taught it to me, I wasn't there, even though I tried to make note and to remember, but I just couldn't. It was just a little bit too advanced for me at that time. Fast forward, I'm going on the website trying to find any type of information I can find on this story. I find very little. So at the very least, I'm like, okay, well, let me go and at least try and find the papyrus, right? It has to be in a museum. It has to be somewhere, because it's telling me that this is from Leiden or Leiden's papyrus 384, right? So I'm going and I'm looking up that, and I can find nothing. I mean, I found very little on this story, and I'm saying to myself, this is a story about animals, and it seems very fairy tale-ish. It seems like it doesn't seem very powerful at first, right? And I'm gonna break it down for you, right? So the little excerpt that is in the book, that is what my presentation is on. However, in searching, I came across a lot of magical, as the great brother says, hekau. I came across a lot of magical papyrus, not papyruses, a lot of magical books, right? So I came across a lot of Ptolemaic books on magic that come from this papyrus, right? But I couldn't find the papyrus, but I found at least 3 or 4 books on magic. In fact, one of the things that I found on the papyrus is called the Magical Papyrus of the Ptolemies, or something to that effect, right? So anyway, this story, The Lion in Search of Man, is in that story. So I create the visuals for this, and I'm like, okay, great, this is short. Now let me just go and try and find the papyrus. I can't find it. I find a whole bunch of other stuff. Lo and behold, in my search, I find what I believe is part of the whole papyrus for this. So I'm gonna share my small presentation, and then I'm gonna read the whole presentation without the visuals, because I didn't have time to go back and add the visuals to the whole story, because the story is actually longer than what is presented. And this seems like I'm rambling on, but my point is that you have to dig. You have to search for the truth, because the little story that's in that book by Miriam Litcham, it does not go into depth as far as how long the actual story is. So you'll see what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna read just a small portion, show some visuals, and then I'm gonna read what I found in the Ptolemaic writing, which is the origins of this story. And Ani, if you could help me out, great brother, I need that papyrus. And now I understand what you and Saba was talking about, and now I'm beginning to understand a little bit of the significance of your gift and what you presented. Even when you told us about it, how there's so many of our writings that they will not translate for whatever reason, or they have them hidden, or they're just not bringing them forth for us. So with that, I know I was a little long-winded. I'm going to get into this presentation, but I just needed to share that because I want you guys to see that I did the presentation, but it's very short. And then I fell in a rabbit hole as I was trying to find archaeological evidence or the papyrus. It just took me down a rabbit hole. So, and it was fun though. I'm not gonna hold you. I had a great time because I'm still in that rabbit hole. So if you will allow me to, I will come back and create some visuals for the longer part of the story. But with that, I'm gonna just begin right now. So the story is about, very short, like I said, this is from Merriam-Licham's Volume 3, Ancient Egyptian Literature. And the story that I'm going to be reading from is on page 151. And it's from the Leading Papyrus 384, otherwise known as the Magical Text. That's what I found, some of the writings and some of the books that speak about it, but I still cannot find the papyrus. Getting pretty good with the with my programs too. I'm learning. I'm getting good with the button. Shout out to Nookpoo. I hope you had a safe trip back, and I hope you was able to find what was lost, great brother. Hotep Henu. There was a lion on the mountain who was mighty in strength and was good at hunting. The small game of the mountains knew fear of him and terror of him. One day it happened that he met a panther whose fur was stripped, whose skin was torn, who was half dead and half alive because of his wounds. The lion said, "How did you get into this condition? Who scraped your fur and stripped your skin?" The panther said to him, "It was man." The lion said to him, "Man, what is that?" The panther said to him, "There is no one more cunning than man. May you not fall into the hand of man." The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from the panther in order to search for man. The lion encountered a team yoked, so that one bit was in the mouth of the horse, the other bit in the mouth of the donkey. The lion said to them, "Who is he who has done this to you?" They said, "It is man, our master." He said to them, "Is man stronger than you?" They said, "Our Lord, there is no one more cunning than man. May you not fall into the hand of man." The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from them. The same happened to him with an ox and a cow, whose horns were clipped, whose noses were pierced, and whose heads were roped. He questioned them. They told him the same. The same happened with a bear, whose claws had been removed, and whose teeth had been pulled. He asked him, saying, "Is man stronger than you?" He said, "That is the truth. I had a servant who prepared my food. He said to me, 'Truly your claws stick out from your flesh. You cannot pick up food with them. Your teeth protrude. They do not let the food reach your mouth. Release me, and I will cause you to pick up twice as much food.' When I released him, he removed my claws and my teeth. I have no food and no strength without them. He strewn sand in my eyes and ran away from me. The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from the bear in order to search for man. He met a lion who was tied to a tree of the desert, the trunk being closed over his paw, and he was very distressed because he could not run away. The lion said to him, "How did you get into this evil condition? Who is he who did this to you?" The lion said to him, "It is man. Beware. Do not trust him. Man is bad. Do not fall into the hand of man." I had said to him, "What work do you do?" He said to me, my work is given old age. I can make for you an amulet so that you will never die. Come, I will cut a tree for you and place it on your body as an amulet so that you will never die. I went with him. He came to this tree of the mountain, saw it, and said to me, stretch out your paw. I put my paw between the trunk. He shut his mouth on it. When he had ascertained of me that my paw was fastened so that I could not run after him, he strewn sand into my eyes and ran away from me. Then the lion laughed and said, man, if you should fall into my hand, I shall give you the pain that you inflicted on my companions on the mountain. Then, as the lion was walking in search of man, there strayed into his paw a little mouse, small in size, tiny in shape. When he was about to crush him, the mouse said to him, do not crush me, my lord the lion. If you eat me, you will not be satiated. If you release me, you will not hunger for me either. If you give me my breath of life as a gift, I shall give you your own breath of life as a gift. If you spare me from your destruction, I shall make you escape from your misfortune. The lion laughed at the mouse and said, what is it that you could do? In fact, is there anyone on earth who would attack me? But he swore an oath before him, saying, I shall make you escape from your misfortune on your bad day. Now, although the lion considered the words of the mouse as a joke, he reflected, if I eat him, I shall indeed not be satiated, and he released him. Now it happened that there was a huntsman with a net who set traps, and he had dug a pit before the lion. The lion fell into the pit and fell into the hand of man. He was placed in the net. He was bound with dry leather straps. He was tied with raw straps. Now, as he lay suffering on the mountain in the 7th hour of the night, fate wished to make his joke come true because of the boastful words that the lion had spoken, and made the little mouse stand before the lion. He said to him, do you recognize me? I am the little mouse to whom you gave his breath of life as a gift. I have come in order to repay you for it today, and to rescue you from your misfortune since you are suffering. It is never to do good to him who does it in turn. Then the mouse set his mouth to the fetters of the lion. He cut the dry straps. He gnawed through all the raw straps with which he had been bound, and released the lion from his feathers. The mouse hid himself in his mane, and he went off with him to the mountain on that day. Hotep, I'm done. Hotep. Okay, now I'm gonna play. That was the story. That's the short part, right? Now I'm going to play for everyone the beginning of the story and show you how long it is now. Now, um, so like I said in my digging, I wasn't able to find the papyrus, but I was able to find a Greek book with some Greek writing, and I'm going to read to you the whole story. It's a little longer, so let's go. The beginning of the story is missing, and the principal manuscript. The following fragment is contained. No sound. All right, hold on. I'm finna screen share.
The beginning of the story is missing, and the principal manuscript.
Can you hear
The
it?
following fragment is contained in Lily 31, the third chapter, the little. The Nubian cat opened her mouth and said, "They are good, the speeches that you make. Man with his fate is like a boat that sails. His fate is like a safe shore, the wind that capsizes, whose direction, color, and is unknown. The changes of the wind are like the blows of fate. The netter is like the sailor who steers it. His heart is his rudder. He who is magnanimous in a fair wind will reach the safe shore, but he who is cruel will stumble immediately. The netter is the of the ferry. His work is to guide daily. He provides daily guidance, and he throws out those with whom he is angry. He brings in those to whom he is gracious. May the day of grace come. My heart longs for Kemet, my country. Its fragrance comes to me. Its wines drive me. He who is hungry leaves his city, but he who is full stays in it. Will you come with me to Tamari? I will convince you of what I say. I will make your breath beautiful. I will make your life pleasant. I will give you a wise woman to follow your heart, a strong to do what you want, a friend to emulate your behavior, a companion with him. I will satisfy you with what you desire. I will make you like dry wood. I will make you fresh like a plant that grows in water. I will revive your flesh. I will strengthen your bones. I will make you praise the good fortune of this mountain, which has caused me to meet you. He hesitated for a moment. Then he gave her another reply. The fourth chapter, the little discussion, Tehuti opened his mouth and spoke, saying, "Oh, may you live. Oh, may you be healthy. Oh, you the one of whom Ra boasts. The land knows your fearsomeness, but it is your gentle form which you should take. Do not become angry. You should love mercy. Your power is great. Do not abandon your reputation. I know you're a mighty greatness. You are the greatest of the great. Do not reject your kind. Blessed is he who has spoken to you. He who alters your command will be seized by the plague, and he who uses violence against you will immediately be rejected. He who. Very little survives of the first column of text in the principal manuscript. The text resumes in the middle of a speech by Tehuti. May fate save you from this evil, the sufferings of the land. You will bear witness to good things. Whoever steals will be robbed. Theft begets death. Whoever oppresses the land will have no home on earth. The hyenas will tear his body to pieces on a tomb, even if he runs down the road. Punishment will overtake him when he argues. What will he say? Listen, my lady, to this story that I will tell you. There was once a female vulture who had a nest on top of a desert tree not far from a cat who had given birth at the foot of a hill. However, the vulture was afraid to go looking for food for her chicks, for fear that the cat would take the opportunity to destroy her young ones. Similarly, the cat was afraid to looking for food for her kittens, for fear that the vulture would kill them. The vulture spoke to the cat and said, "Can we not coexist in peace if we take an oath before Ra, the great netter. In these terms, when one of us goes to get her little one's meal, the other must not harm them. They exchange oaths before Ra to comply with these terms. Now one day the cat saw some food. She planted her claws in it, could not, saying, "By the life of Ra, this is not your food. I did not bring it for you. Find some for yourself." Replied to her, "I am below before Ra to ensure that retribution strikes because of the false oath you made. His two wings did not carry him far from to end his life." He said to her, "Retribution will strike, it will strike the son's son." The vulture made saying to herself, "Although vengeance has gone to the borders of Syria, it will return here at another time. It will come to me when the cat goes looking for food for her children. Then I will destroy her offspring and get food for my own children. When vengeance returns here at another time, it will end the cat's life because of what previously happened between me and her." The vulture kept the manner before her eyes. One day the cat went to get some food for her young ones, and the vulture destroyed them. When the cat returned, she could no longer find her kittens. She then looked up at the sky and begged Ra, "Recognize my rights towards this vulture who has exterminated my children after betraying the oaths we swore together." Her request was heard by Ra. A divine power was sent to bring vengeance to strike the vulture who had exterminated the cat's offspring. He found vengeance under the tree where the vulture had her perch. He ordered vengeance to punish the vulture for what she had done to the cat, just as he had been ordered by Ra. Now the vulture had seen a Syrian who was roasting a desert donkey. She took a piece of food when he was not looking. She carried a piece of meat in her beak and brought it to her nest, but she did not notice the glowing embers were still attached to it. The embers burned the vulture's nest, and her chicks fell to the ground beneath the tree. The cat came up and spoke to the vulture, "By the life of Ra, it was you who broke your oath and who destroyed my children. Now vengeance has struck your little ones, who have been consumed by fire." Tehuti said, "O you little Nubian cat, the vulture was punished for breaking the oath that she had made with the cat. Ra makes vengeance strike." She swore an oath. "Tehuti, by your face, by the cat, swear," saying that she would then. The cat raised her face toward the horizon and swore the oath that he desired. The little praises his voice also. "By your face, with its beautiful eyes, by the creating of beauty that dwells within you, by your looks that shine with happiness by your face, full of joy, from which the whole country lives, just as from the rays of the great disk of the sun. Thus said matter, it is prepared for you. The heart of the sun god remains sealed for it. Where you are, all the houses are built to hide it, and the Nile flows to cover it during the day. He flies to the sky with the birds. Every day he is in the water with the fish. He is the one who gives the south wind to the night barge, and the north wind to the day barge. Every day he sleeps and wakes with us. He lives among the Hegraians in the land of Elam. He lies down in the region of Lim, and spends the day among the Nubians. In the world despises it. He dwells with the Keftu, but remains permanently in Kemet. The said matter is pure above all else. No one in the world despises it. As soon as the Nubian cat heard this, she smiled and mocked, saying, "You are confusing what you are angry about because you are unable to solve it." Tehuti said to her, "I am subject to fate. I see that you have made an oath like a child, that you are, one could say, still an infant. Milk is your diet and porridge serves as your food. You are someone who cannot distinguish heat for cold. That is life from death, who does not know, so to speak, what causes the heat, and the cold that is the fear in him. I swear that I have told you this. If you haven't understood it so far, call to Shu, your brother husband, and tell him, 'Come with me to come back, and I will never let you return to these lands again.'" The Nubian cat said to him, "Can I, perhaps, after having sworn to Ra, to stay away? Ra is my father, who is the bull of the womb, from which I came forth. Tehuti said, O my lady, your love for Shu, your brother husband, is great, and I know that you don't want to annoy him. Great is he who came forth with you by the work of a divine hand. My effort to convince you to return will not benefit everyone on earth unless he is with you too. What's the point of making a sistrum if it's handled the opening? Do not say he is far from me. He will not put any blame on you because he is your brother. His ancestors in Heracleopolis are the ones who will put blame on you. That is, the divine punishers, the fathers of Re. The cat gave him the oath that his heart desired. He said, My lady, I have already told you this same thing is happy and joyful. They call nothing else beautiful face, except sistrum face is what they call it, at the time when they love to see it. Listen, you can never get enough of the pleasure it gives, and there is nothing else on earth with a sweeter taste. Because of it, the shrine. After the cat heard this, she was troubled in her heart. That is, her heart began to think about the words that Tehuti said to her. She considered the same thing and noticed the effect that it had. Her face became happy and she smiled. She replied to him, You must beware of my strength while you are here on my path. You will do harm to me, although I am doing good to you. Tehuti noticed that the same thing had produced its effect. The sixth chapter, the trepidation of the heart, his voice also. He said to her, May you live. Tell me what causes gods and men to rejoice when they hear the voice together with her, and they rejoice at, when people see it, their bodies feel joy, their limbs are vigorous, the old are rejuvenated, the young are refreshed, as happens with nothing else in the world except this. The Nubian cat said to him, It is the place where we were born, and also the organ from which we were generated. There is nothing else on earth that the god loves more. Tehuti said to her, You are justified in your heart. May you live. I have spoken plainly to you, so that you may realize that everyone in the world loves their place of birth, the place which brought them into the world. According to another version, they were given their place on their birthstone in Upper Kemet, and it happens that the gods of Lower Kemet who dwell in Upper Kemet have retained their place, which is in Lower Kemet, while the gods of Upper Kemet who dwell in Lower Kemet have retained their place, which is available to them in Upper Kemet, which is the place where they were born. The hearts of Neteru and men remain tied to the place where they lay, the house where they were born, and where they find eternal rest. And it doesn't just happen to gods and men, but it happens to every creature on earth to be happy in every place that is theirs, that is, the place where they were born, to give an example. This also happens to the fat goose when it is outside the pond, and when there was a load of fat geese outside the pond, in their village where they live. When you were immersed in dung, that they would tell a person. They will say dung ball to anyone who holds a low position in the village, but it is not an insult to the type of life that one leads there. The one who says, You are in the dung, he is the one who assumes all the aspects of all the gods, the one who was generated by his own hand. When the god says dung ball, is it an insult to the scarab, who is the image of Ra, the great God? He would not be offended by it being said. That is, anyone who does any work in his village will not be despised. May you fall on your threshing floor. May you find your sycamore, which is what fate says to the one it loves. May you die in your village where you were born. May you find your burial. They will bury you, and you will rest in your sarcophagus, which is made from the same sycamore. And further, when a crocodile grows old anywhere, it wants to die in the canal, which is its home. When a snake is tired, it seeks its hole to crawl into, unless it smells a herb and coils up inside it. Ebony does not turn black in Kemet. The marshes of Punt are green with rushes and reeds, but no sycamore is found there. A barley ear does not smell of DLM. The desert mountains are green with real feldspar, like the papyrus that grows the feldspar, which is a stone found on the mountain, is compared to the papyrus plant that grows in water, or it refers to the green stone, which they place it on the eye, that is, SEKHMET bastet, to beautify it and satisfy it. This is the green faience which is made into amulets for the propitiation of Sekhmet, and also the papyrus plant with which they appease her. In fact, you are the lady of the green stone and of the green scepter, that is the papyrus stalk that is carried in the hand of all the goddesses, and which symbolizes that we are the mistresses of the papyrus documents, just as the meek scepter which is carried in the hands of the male gods represents the country and symbolizes that we are the masters of the country. It is called bush because that is also a word for fire. The papyrus plant is cut down when it is fully grown, like the fire that they extinguish when its flame has grown too high. He says green stone without talking about any other stone because the green stone of Upper Kemet means snake. It is the greenest stone that the desert mountains produce. He says papyrus because there is no greener or more widespread plant in Kemet. This is the that he made to the goddess. The mountains do not produce anything as wonderful as this thing, which is so widespread in Kemet, your country. He also said that the green stone does not grow in water, and the papyrus plant does not grow in the desert. He also said the persea tree does not bear fruit if it is planted on stone. He spoke about the color of papyrus as mentioned above, because there is nothing greener than the color of the papyrus plant. It is compared to the persea fruit, which is so green that there is nothing greener in Kemet, your country. And then he added, the evergreen mountains that shine with real turquoise cannot be compared with a stalk of barley growing in your green fields, because the mountains of turquoise cannot be compared with a stalk of barley when it grows in your green fields. The green color which they call beautiful is truly beautiful. He said this because the barley stalk gives nourishment and life to everyone, but turquoise cannot be eaten. His voice also, his little. Then he added, they do not build a royal palace for the bee. They do not build a stable out of dung, but a hive of dung is better than a hive of stone. That is to say, they do not build a house of stone for the bee. Its work would be impossible there, because it is not the place where it was born. If one says they do not build the stable out of dung, it means that the stable where the cat gives birth is not built with dung, that is excrement, but they build it with stone. A comparison is made between the cat's house and the bee's house, a storehouse made of honeycombs, as they call a piece of honeycomb. He says a hive of dung is better than a hive of stone, because a hive of dung, that is of excrement, is better for the honeycomb than a hive of stone. Then he said, milk is the nourishment of the mouth until it develops teeth. He said this further, that all that the fly needs as nourishment, all that it drinks and eats, is a dead carcass. This is what he said to the goddess. Do you perhaps despise the bee, because it makes its honeycomb in the dung, that stinks of the cow, from which it came, when the cow is neath? He made the comparison between the bee and the cat, since honey bee is its proper name. The beekeepers, when they want to wake them up in the morning, call them with a reed whistle, because Neith has used the reed previously. When one wants to write the word honey, one uses the figure of Neith with a reed in her hand, because she is the one who purified the temples of Upper and Lower Kemet when they are being refounded. The gods cannot rest in their shrines if they have not been purified. And then he should be called cat. He has a cat's face because from primordial times that appearance has belonged to the great god Ra. He has the form of a tomcat, and the female cat is also the eye, that is the uraeus. And furthermore, they call the bee king of Lower Kemet, and they give the same name to the cat, that is the uraeus, When the first chapel of Neith was founded, it was called, and this is the meaning of what he said above. These are the observations he made to the Neterus. He added, I have opened my heart to you concerning the things that I have considered, so that you may be convinced by it. I am referring to what happened to the little divine ram who left the Waljat eye of the gods, that is Kemet. But then he wanted to return to his country and his own home, which he longed for, like a cow that calls her calf when her offspring has gone far away from her. Your mouth is not yet dry, and you can say, I am coming immediately. Whoever is hungry longs for his village home, and he who is full should not despise it either. May you live. A lamp does not shed light in broad daylight, and similarly, my small voice has no value compared to your voice as an important person. From the beginning, I've never disguised myself in front of my lady. My word remains my word. If anyone says no after having told you yes, may leprosy strike him because he has committed a capital sin. Tehuti finished his speech with the Nubian cat looking at him and consuming him with her gaze. She was amazed to hear his voice and greatly delighted. She admired his ability to speak, although she could not, her own voice with her little. The Nubian cat spoke to him, with her heart on fire and her lips burning. The breath of her mouth was a fiery wind, like a viper's. Her eyes were sad, and she averted her gaze. Her whole body shook as she said, You have made my heart heavy, although it had become calm. My heart was content after I succeeded in forgetting Kemet. Behold, by your love for your country, you have made me long again for my Kemet, which was like the scent of wheat to my heart. You have made it sweet like a fine ointment which is never far from its owner. You have said this and that. Does your saliva belong to me? By the one who is in the egg of Shu, that is, the Lord of the gods, who turns water into bones. Have you entered the eye so that you have become Lord of the month? I am its right hand, and I am like a claw behind you to grasp you. She means, when you have joined the moon, they would call you Lord of the bulls who makes the womb conceive. I am the womb that conceives, the mother who makes life in the womb, when she is invoked by the companions of the beginning and the end, that is, the beginning and the end of the labor pains of the woman who comes to give birth. They should invoke Bastet rather than Amun. When the time that their mother spends with them arrives, Nekabet is the goddess that they invoke to bring her down. She is the mistress of the beginning and the end, because the end and the beginning is the name they give to the which is in the temples of Kemet, and which is also the image of the goddess. She says, I am his hand, because the amulets that are placed on her body represent Bastet, with the head of a vulture on her body, and the appearance of a sistrum on her feet, and she has two wings open. She is called a vulture, alluding to the mother who nurtures her, and a sistrum, alluding to the impregnated womb. They are put on the sham, with which they appease the goddess, saying, You are the mistress of the livelihood of men and women. The little boy in the royal palace has no divine power, but the womb that gives birth is the nurturing mother before Pharaoh, because he is compared to the god Mahes, great in strength, son of Bastet. And Tehuti added, Therefore Re is a king for me, together with his brothers, that is, the divine powers that came into being by the hand of the goddess. So in comparison to Mahes, son of Bastet, Re is a king. That is, he acts like a king over the divine forces after me. The cat frightened, and she also said, You are like a baboon with his bow, so that you become like Sothis, the creator of our creators. But I am the venerable vulture, of the Lord of Thebes, that is, the venerable vulture who has no male. She can be compared to Nut, in that she came into existence without a male. Begetting her, that is, she brought herself, who is Sothis, for whom everything is done, and who also symbolizes the year. When one wants to write the word year, One uses the image of the vulture, as it is she who causes the months to exist. She is the primordial goddess who created everything in the world. They all came into being from her. When one wishes to show the goddess in the form of an amulet of the year, one uses the image of a female baboon shooting arrows. She hangs her bow under the sky, and the arrows are her stars, saying the year of birth calculates the time. In another version, determines the birth. The Nubian cat added, "You are perhaps lord of the tireless and imperishable stars that are on the boat of the sacred scarab. Born I am the female falcon that came out of it." She refers to Re, saying that you should join with his rowers. "I will not turn away from you wherever you enter or wherever you go before me." They call me the one of the earth, because the daughter of the earth I am. No one but me is called the one from Teni, because he has made me the ruler of rulers, and he has also made me lady of the whole earth. Behold, the earth is before me like a box, that is, the divine lands are before me, like a wreath that turns. Do you know what the Lord of knowledge wrote about me? He did not go away, but rather he instructed the inhabitants of the earth about my ways, because he knew my anger. My heart was so inflamed that he said, "Rise up, children, the cat cannot go to court." In another version, to any form of judgment. Porcupine, O porcupine, it is the cat that is a uraeus, that is, she is the one who judges variant. Beware of the cat and of the cat's oath, saying, "Long live the flesh and the breath." Another variant, a cat's trial has no end. Tehuti looked at the Nubian cat. Her heart was troubled, and she had a frown on her face. She stood on her claws, and kept her eyes fixed on the ground. She spent an hour with a gloomy expression, like someone who was thoughtful and pensive. Her eyes shed hot tears, like the sky in a storm. Misplaced seventh chapter. The cat speaks, her voice also, the little remedies of the soul. Tehuti said to her, "How come your face is as dark as the night, and your looks are like fire? O you to whom belong the houses of gold and silver of every kind. O you who are awakened in the evening boat. O you who are revealed at sunset. O you to whom incense is offered, so that you may be appeased. O you to whom the beautiful singers belong. Their drums are silent, their harps are covered with dust. Your dancers beat on the tambourine, but there is no sound in their hands. Your dancers call for you. Your tambourine players have not come to the arcades of the street. Your singers are in mourning. Your flute players have stopped in fear at the entrance of the street. You and your florists are all in despair. They ask about your ways. Their eyes turn away from you, like the Nile on the fields of Egypt. They all like the dew. During the summer heat they call for you, like the rain towards you, like the astronomers observe Sothis at night. They look towards you daily, like the moon they tremble at her hours, like the is calculated for the food of Ray variant, like the of Hebet, as the is calculated. Your followers disperse in the streets, in the porches, and in the courtyards. Their little children call for you. They shout on your way. Their eyes turn towards you. Their gazes are fixed on you as if watching Ray rising in the morning. They rejoice when they hear your news. Your young people receive the rays of the sun at midday, telling of your works. The older ones in the evening, responding to your words. Old and young long for you. The kings and great men of the earth are mourning for you. They cannot sit down because their throne has been ruined, and their actions on the earth have since you left Kemet. Joy has left along with you. Intoxication is finished and forgotten. Celebration is hidden and never seen. The bliss of a time in your presence has been lost. The happiness experienced with you has become alien. Throughout Kemet there is evil discord between the great and the humble. Joy is halted, and the drinking hall of Atum is in mourning. All have gone away with you, and have hidden themselves from Kemet, but in Bukum they are rejoicing. There is joy in the forest and jubilation among the Nubians. My lady, Kemet lies sorrowful at your feet. There is no day of celebration in your temples. That has a bitter taste. The women and men have a sad face. The beautiful women walk along the street without a smile. But when you turn your face towards them, you are like the Nile that floods the dry fields, pouring water onto them when their mouths are open in great numbers. The dust under your feet is more welcome than the dust of the warehouses, where the grain stores of the people of Kemet are kept. There is sweetness in the appearance and fragrance of your sanctuary, where the smoke of your mouth is like the fragrance of pont. The fragrance of your saliva is like honey. The juices of your mouth are like nectar. Your beautiful mouth is sweeter than a cultivated field, green and fertile with every type of grain. You are more beautiful than the sky when it is free from clouds, with no threats on the horizon. It is more pleasant to be in your presence than to eat after hunger, more pleasant than strength after weakness, more pleasant than love after hate. Your gentle speech is sweeter than the good north wind on the sea when it is calm for a long time. But the way you look at me is that of a butcher looking at the ox tied in front of him. I am like a fattened goose whose great feathers have been clipped, and you stand on your claws like a vulture on carrion. My lady, bless me with a heartfelt embrace and protect me. It is right. Bring me back to the world after death, back to the light after morning. Why is your face clouded, O my lady? Your tears, why do your eyes flame at me like meteors? If there is something you have heard from me which that makes your heart burn, tell me. Don't hide it from me, and I will give you the explanation. I will mitigate it in your presence. Fee. The world after death, back to the light after morning. Why is your face clouded, O my lady? Your tears, why do your eyes flame at me like meteors? If there is something you have heard from me which that makes your heart burn, tell me. Don't hide it from me, and I will give you the explanation. I will mitigate it in your presence. Fee. Don't hide it from me, and I will give you the homesick for it. Call out and say, come to Kemet with me. Listen to a fable that I will tell you, because it applies to both of us. A kite was a vulture's friend, while the hoopoe was her companion. I know that you listen to me with interest when I walk with you, because your listening has been established from the beginning. They call no one else but you the great listener. As Tehuti raised his face to continue the speech he was making, the Nubian cat realized that he was saying all this to direct her and prevent her from staying in the desert. So my mistress, the cat, decided to frighten him. Her little tricks. She transformed into a furious lioness who had divine power in her height and likewise in her breadth. She shook his hair mane forwards, and her fur smoked with fire. Her back turned to the color of blood. Her face shone like the disk of the sun. Her eyes glowed like flames. Her gaze burned like fire, throwing out flames like the midday sun, and all around her was incandescent. Everyone around her became afraid of her display of power. The desert rose to dust when she flicked her tail. The sand rose up when she bared her teeth. The desert threw out flames when she sharpened her claws. The thorn bushes dried up when her nostril blew smoke, and many blowflies came out. She let out a mighty roar with the full force of her voice. The desert opened its mouth. The stone spoke to the sand, and the hill trembled for 2 hours. Tehuti was very scared indeed. As soon as it saw the terrible demonstration of her power, the desert covered its face. The mountains became black. The splendor of the sun was darkened in the middle of the day. Tehuti could no longer see the sky. His body trembled like that of someone in the grip of an illness. He became like a frog, and he hopped like a grasshopper. He shrank, and his body became like that of a dwarf. He stood up on 2 legs and took the form of a monkey of the sunboat in the presence of the goddess. He was in great anguish, and he no longer knew where in the world he was. These are the words that Tehuti spoke. I have seen you, SEKHMET. I have seen you from the marshland of I have looked at you, with your lotus flower, and with your face serene, when you are adorned with your pearl necklace of faience, your necklace of green stone, your of faience, with the garland of around your neck, with its and with your ornament, your ebony scepters in your hand, while your cupbearers, your cattle keepers carry their gold, your dancers carry their, while their garlands are adorned with celebrating your I saw them all. I saw them as they made a circle around you, and while all the singers wearing their necklaces were lined up to greet you, I realized that there was no goddess among them who could be compared to you in splendor. I realized that there was no goddess among them who had feminine beauty as great as yours. You do not take on this terrifying form when you are calm. Show yourself again to me in your former manner. Your steps open the way to destiny. O sublime lady of millions of years, show your power. If you save me from this abomination and forgive my guilt, I myself will repay you and save you in your misfortune. Laughter will return after weeping. The Neter ceased from her anger and calmed her rage, which accompanied the aspect that she had assumed. Tehuti stood up to ask her about what he had said. Tehuti noticed that she was placated and said, Will my sovereign not laugh when she sees life? That is good. I will make your eyes see and make you rejoice. Hear the story of sight and hearing. That is, he does it, and it is done for him. There were 2 vultures on the mountaintops. Sight was the name of the one, and Hearing was the name of the other. One day Sight said to Hearing, My eyes are keener than yours, and my vision is better than yours. What happens to me does not happen to any other bird that flies except me. Hearing said to her, What is it? Sight said, I can see unto the limit of darkness, and I can observe the sea as far as the encircling waters. None. Hearing said to her, Why does this happen to you? She said, I can do this because I remain in the chamber, and I eat my food, and therefore the sleeping I do is very great, when as I refresh myself in the chamber, and I do not eat after sunset. Hearing said to her, Your eyes are keener than my eyes, and your vision too is better than mine. But what happens to me does not happen to any other bird that flies except me. Behold, I can enchant the sky so that I can hear what is in it. I can hear what Re, the shining sun, the avenger of the gods, ordains every day in heaven concerning the earth. Sight said to her, Why does this happen to you? She said to her, It happens to me because I do not sleep at midday, and I do not eat after the sunlight. Variant from another papyrus, Rahul. And so I can settle myself to sleep in the evening with my crop empty. Sight pondered these words in her heart. There came a time when Hearing started laughing. Sight said, Why are you laughing? Hearing said to her, It is true that a divine hearing bird came to me when she was in the sky far away from the earth. Iref reported this to me. Irisenef says, The Sur fly, which is at the limit of obscurity, was swallowed by the lizard. Irisenef said also, The skink swallowed the lizard, the snake swallowed the skink, then the eagle took the snake into the sea. Hearing said to Sight, If you can look into the sea and observe what is in the water, what has happened to the snake and the eagle. Sight said, It is true. I believe all the things that you have said, and I regard them all as true. Behold, the snake and the eagle that fell into the sea, an Atai fish ate them with his mouth. Behold, in turn a catfish ate the Atai fish. According to another version, behold, the Atai fish was swallowed by a catfish and approached the shore. Behold, a lion came down to the sea and pulled the catfish onto the shore. Behold, a griffin has caught their scent. He has hooked his claws into both of them and carried them beneath the splendor of the circuits of the sky. He has laid them down and has torn at them upon the mountain before him and made a meal of them. If you think I am telling a lie, come to the desert ridge. I shall let you see them, torn and dismembered before him as he makes a meal of them. The two vultures flew into the desert. They found that everything they had said together was entirely true. Sight said to Hearing, Indeed, nothing happens on earth except that which the God commands in heaven. Whoever acts well will be rewarded, and whoever acts badly will receive the same. Then Sight said to Hearing, What will happen about the killing of the lion that the griffin has attacked? How will it be settled? Hearing said to Sight, It's true. Do you not know that the griffin is the creature of death? He is the herdsman of everything that is upon the earth. He is the avenger, upon whom no avenger can take vengeance. His beak is an eagle's, his eyes are that of a man, his limbs are those of a lion, his ears are like the scales of sea fish, his tail is that of a snake, the 5 living creatures that are upon the earth. He takes this form because he wields power over everything that is upon the earth, like Death the Avenger, who is also the herdsman of everything that is upon the earth. Truly he who kills is killed, and he who orders a killing, his destruction is ordered. I have told you this story so that you may be convinced that nothing is hidden from Re, the radiant God, the avenger of the gods, variant of the God. He takes vengeance on everything that is on earth, starting from the flea, the smallest of all living things, until his punishment reaches the griffin, the largest of all living things. The good and the evil that is done on earth will be repaid by Re. That is to say, even though you may say that I'm smaller than you in size, Re will treat me the same as you. His smell and his hearing extend to everything that is on earth. He sees what is in the egg when it is still growing. Whoever opens an egg is like someone who kills. Their sin can never be washed away. If you think that is a lie, look at the trace of blood that is still on your clothes. This is the blood of the wicked persons who committed a murder, but it was not repaid during their lifetime. When they died, their remains were sought out to exact vengeance on them after their death. The clothing of the gods as well as of men bears the trace of their blood, so that our hearts may rejoice in the knowledge that the avenger always pronounces his punishment on the guilty. It marks the clothing, so that the inhabitants of the earth may, for the trace of a crime, cannot be washed away. The avenger pursues the criminal, whether he is alive or dead. without ever releasing him. I know that you are called Cat, the one who is not subject to the power of the Avenger. I also know that you are the instrument of death and that you can never die. You are the instrument of the Avenger and Justice, the daughter of Re. You are called Whispering Cat because you whisper in the ears of the inhabitants of the earth. Then the Nubian cat laughed. Her heart was delighted by the words of Tehuti. She greeted him warmly and said, I will neither kill you nor let you be killed. I hate to witness an evil deed. On the contrary, only good will be done to you. Why do you look so sad when you have done nothing bad, but only good? You have freed my heart from sadness and filled it with joy. And she added, when the lamb and the lion lies there, there is a slaughter worthy of Seth. That is to say, a wise man does not rob a great man in his own house. She added by way of explanation, no meat is given to the sacrificial animal as food, because it would not weak. If a strong man humiliates a weak man, then he will be harmed by someone even stronger than himself. Then the north wind came from heaven, bringing with it the scent of Punt. The Nile rose, and it became light in the morning, when Re appeared as a great flaming disk of the sun. His looks were full of joy, and his rays were full of life. There were no clouds in the path of Sothis, whose rays shone on Kemet and reached as far as Hehe. These beautiful words made her turn her face towards Kemet, and Tehuti rushed to the goddess to entertain her, while her heart was truly glad. He said to her, my lady, this is the way to Kemet. It is not the desert path on which you have walked for so long. I will make you cover the distance in a few days. She laughed and said, why did you not tell me this before? His voice also, the little miscellanies. Tehuti opened his mouth and said, oh, greetings to you. Listen to the story that happened to the two jackals. Once upon a time, there were two jackals in the desert who were inseparable. They were always joking with each other, saying, you will become the friend of someone else. But neither of the two jackals strayed far from his companion. They drank and ate and did everything together. Now, one day when they were cooling themselves in the shade of a bush in the desert, they saw a furious lion on the hunt rushing towards them. They stayed there without running away. When the lion reached the two jackals, he said to them, a bad day for you. Did you not see me when I came towards you? Why then did you not flee from me? They replied, in fact, our Lord, we saw you in your fury, but we thought that we should not flee from you, because you would catch us anyway. It is better that you eat us while we still have all our energy in us, without having given yourself any trouble, rather than eat us when we are exhausted, inflicting a slow and painful death on us. As the proverb says, may the crocodile who seizes me enjoy a good taste in his mouth. The lion understood the point of the two jackals' speech. A great lord is merciful, as they say, and a great man does not become angry at a true remark. So the lion went away from them, and he let them go. My lady, if you are persuaded, you must come and keep me company. As for me, I am with you, and I will never leave you. However, and may my breath be safe, how can you prefer the dust of this desert to the houses of your homeland? The goddess then said to him, your heart has lost none of its confidence, Tehuti, but none of your words astonish me, except that you said, I will deliver you from your misfortune. Who in the end could me? Is there a being more powerful than the bear, apart from Shay? What is the limit of your power? Could it tear my whip from me? Tehuti answered her, take good care of yourself, and may you prosper. The treasure of a wise man is his ears. May your ears be for you a storehouse of may they give you security. The storehouse of Shay, the great god, is hidden, but the wise man knows it. The powerful always find someone more powerful than themselves. The strong always find someone stronger than themselves. Bulls always find someone more vigorous than themselves. The brave always find someone braver than themselves. His voice also, the little preparations. He opened his mouth and said, "Listen to a story that I am going to tell you. There was a lion on the mountain who was mighty in strength and was good at hunting. The small game of the mountains knew fear of him and terror of him. One day it happened that he met a panther whose fur was stripped, whose skin was torn, who was half dead and half alive because of his wounds. The lion said, 'How did you get into this condition? Who scraped your fur and stripped your skin?' The panther said to him, 'It was man.' The lion said to him, 'Man, what is that?' The panther said to him, 'There is no one more cunning than man. May you not fall into the hand of man.' The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from the panther in order to search for man. The lion encountered a team yoked so that one bit was in the mouth of the horse, the other bit in the mouth of the donkey. The lion said to them, 'Who is he who has done this to you?' They said, 'It is man, our master.' He said to them, 'Is man stronger than you?' They said, 'Our Lord, there is no one more cunning than man. May you not fall into the hand of man.' The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from them. The same happened to him with an ox and a cow, whose horns were clipped, whose noses were pierced, and whose heads were roped. He questioned them. They told him the same. The same happened with a bear, whose claws had been removed and whose teeth had been pulled. He asked him, saying, 'Is man stronger than you?' He said, 'That is the truth. I had a servant who prepared my food. He said to me, "Truly, your claws stick out from your flesh. You cannot pick up food with them. Your teeth protrude. They do not let the food reach your mouth. Release me, and I will cause you to pick up twice as much food." When I released him, he removed my claws and my teeth. I have no food and no strength without them. He strewed sand in my eyes and ran away from me. The lion became enraged against man. He ran away from the bear in order to search for man. He met a lion who was tied to a tree of the desert, the trunk being closed over his paw, and he was very distressed because he could not run away. The lion said to him, "How did you get into this evil condition? Who is he who did this to you?" The lion said to him, "It is man. Beware, do not trust him. Man is bad. Do not fall into the hand of man." I had said to him, "What work do you do?" He said to me, "My work is giving old age. I can make for you an amulet so that you will never die. Come, I will cut a tree for you and place it on your body as an amulet so that you will never die." I went with him. He came to this tree of the mountain, sawed it, and said to me, "Stretch out your paw." I put my paw between the trunk. He shut its mouth on it. When he had ascertained of me that my paw was fastened so that I could not run after him, he strewed sand into my eyes and ran away from me. Then the lion laughed and said, "Man, if you should fall into my hand, I shall give you the pain that you inflicted on my companions on the mountain." Then, as the lion was walking in search of man, there strayed into his paw a little mouse, small in size, tiny in shape. When he was about to crush him, the mouse said to him, "Do not crush me, my lord the lion. If you eat me, you will not be sated. If you release me, you will not hunger for me either. If you give me my breath of life as a gift, I shall give you your own breath of life as a gift. If you spare me from your destruction, I shall make you escape from your misfortune." The lion laughed at the mouse and said, "What is it that you could dull in fact? Is there anyone on earth who would attack me?" But he swore an oath before him, saying, "I shall make you escape from your misfortune on your bad day." Now, although the lion considered the words of the mouse as a joke, he reflected, "If I eat him, I shall indeed not be sated," and he released him. Now it happened that there was a huntsman with a net who set traps and had dug a pit before the lion. The lion fell into the pit and fell into the hand of man. He was placed in the net. He was bound with dry leather straps. He was tied with raw straps. Now as he lay suffering on the mountain in the 7th hour of the night, Fates wished to make his joke come true because of the boastful words that the lion had spoken, and made the little mouse stand before the lion. He said to him, "Do you recognize me? I am the little mouse to whom you gave his breath of life as a gift. I have come in order to repay you for it today and to rescue you from your misfortune, since you are suffering. It is beautiful to do good to him who does it in turn." Then the mouse set his mouth to the fetters of the lion. He cut the dry straps. He gnawed through all the raw straps with which he had been bound, and released the lion from his fetters. The mouse hid himself in his mane, and he went off with him to the mountain on that day. Astonishing the little mouse, which is the weakest creature in the desert, saved the lion, which is the strongest creature in the desert, so that his miracle might happen. May your breath be safe, O Nubian cat. Do not let punishment overtake you when you are looking for something to eat is greater than this. In fact, listening, Tehuti. All the words that he had said pleased her, and she was greatly delighted by him as she turned her face towards Kemet. Tehuti ran in front of her and entertained her by talking. Her heart was very glad. The little, a palm tree appeared in front of them. Tehuti jumped up to reach it. It so happened that he caught a branch and ate the fruit, while his face was resting on his fingers, and he looked towards his land. The netter said to him, "Come down. I will give you date wine to drink, and I will give you dates to eat. I will make you drunk with date wine under the shade of a palm tree, while you are anointed with date oil and drink from palm. A garland of palm leaves will be put on you, and a crown of palm leaves will be placed on your head, while you are lying on a bed of palm wood." He said to her, "Leave me alone. I cannot satisfy myself while I look at my country, at my desert, for I am going to a distant land. Millions of date palms cannot compare with one in my country. When I eat dates, my heart is glad, and the four cause of my heart are joyful. When I look towards my country, and I smell Kemetic sand under my feet." He came down and entertained her by talking, while her face was turned towards Egypt, and her heart was very glad. The little. Later a tree appeared in front of them. Tehuti climbed on top of it. He ate the tree and chewed and filled his mouth with tree. His hands were full of it. But meanwhile he looked towards his country, with his face resting on his fingers. He returned as if to his mountain, and his heart was very happy. The goddess said to him, "Come down. I will give you juice to drink. I will give you food to eat, while you are anointed with oil of will be lit near you, and you will carry 8 of sweet wood, while they sing to you, accompanied by a harp of wood." Tehuti said, "Leave me alone. May you live. By the fate of the bark of the tree on my mountain is sweeter than Haroeris, the lord of the boat, when he strikes the tambourine, and when he sings to the accompaniment of the harp. My heart is glad, and the four cause of my heart are joyful. Variant is green. My heart overflows when I look towards my country, and its water is at my feet, and its dust is on my head." Then Tehuti came down from the tree and walked in front of the goddess. He entertained her by talking, and her heart was very glad. The little. A doom palm tree appeared before them. Tehuti climbed on top of it. He ate doom nuts. He chewed doom nuts. He licked doom nuts. He crushed doom nuts. He held a doom nut in his hand. But meanwhile he looked towards his country, with his face resting on his fingers, and he scorched the desert with his gaze. The goddess said to him, "Come down. I will give you dum palm wine to drink. I will give you dum palm nuts to eat, while they sing for you, accompanied by a harp made of dum palm wood, while you of dum palm wood. I will make you drunk with dum palm wine, with a wreath of dum palm leaves on your head. You will wear a robe of dum palm fibers, and you will wear sandals of dum palm fibers on your feet, and you will have a diadem of dum palm wood on your head." Tehuti said to her, "Leave me alone. With a good north wind, with a broad gaze, it is pleasant on the dung. May I see my country, when I to Kemet my mountain, seek it in time to call it. dust like the ash of a dog. In fact, there was no cow dung to do the work. Tahuti came down from the tree and walked before the goddess. He entertained her by talking, and her heart was very glad. The little. A sycamore tree appeared before them. Tahuti climbed on top of it. He ate sycamore figs. He took sycamore fruits and threw away the seeds. But meanwhile he looked towards his country, with his face resting on his fingers towards his mountain. The goddess said to him, "Come down. I will give you sycamore figs to eat. I will give you the juice of the sycamore to drink, while you sleep on a bed of sycamore wood, and a lamp of sycamore next to you, under the sycamore tree of Nephersis, and the mistress of rejoicing." Tahuti said, "Of the sycamore tree is sweeter when it grows on my mountain than that of the temple dedicated to Ptah the sycamore." Tahuti came down from the tree and walked in front of the goddess while he entertained her by talking. She realized that he did these things to persuade her to her country. Another version says she transformed herself into a noble vulture and proceeded with him towards Egypt until she arrived at Nekheb. He caused the goddess to assume the appearance of a vulture there, while the dog monkey paid homage to her, because it is the place of the creators. She settled there, due to the appearance that she had assumed, that is, the appearance of. It is said that after she arrived at this place, in consideration of, she proceeded together with Tehuti until she reached Thebes, where she transformed herself into a gazelle, which was very wild. The monkey paid homage to her, the little. It happened that while she was sleeping near Thebes, and Tehuti was watching over her, a strong of Apep from jumped at her. While they were advancing towards her in order to harm her, Tehuti woke up the goddess and ran into the ferry with her. He crouched with her in the reeds. It happened that while they were in the ferry, she realized the truth of the words that Tehuti had said to her in the desert, and she believed all the things he had said. She praised him greatly and said to him, "The same. These same rites are still performed in Thebes. Go to the ferry on the shore, while the lady and they sing to appease her." She was hot when she arrived in Kemet. They recite in front of her. Here is the established song. Come to me. May you come to me, O Mut, that I may see you. Come to me, O Mut, that we may see you. Come to Kemet, O gazelle of the road. Come to Kemet, O great noble of Bukem. Do you not know that returning to Kemet is better than many green stones? I will make you forget them. O Amun, twice great, you have destroyed them. O Khonsu in Thebes, Neferhotep, you have scattered the rich treasure in the temple of Mut. You have devoured the skin, giving the reward to me. Mut has come to her abode. She is in Asheru. Mut is the lady of the lands. Come, O Mut, lady of Pharaoh, take her people. Come, O Mut, lady of songs and of festivals, come and take her songs. Come, O Mut, lady of the harp, come and take her songs. This is said because of what happened to the goddess with the of Apep, and of the way that she was woken up by the thrice great god Tehuti, and that happened through him, that is Tehuti the great god, after they celebrate a festival in Thebes for her during 7 days. It is customary to have a festival in Thebes. The goddess went on in jubilation in her beautiful aspect of Tefnut. The monkey accompanied her wherever she decided to go, and she took great delight in him, so much so that Re, her father, considered him a miracle. Re was informed in Hut-At, and Khonsu was informed in his abodes. He became divine cubits long. The heart of Tehuti was very happy. He was like someone reborn. He came from Heliopolis to Memphis in front of her. He took the goddess by the hand and celebrated a festival with her in the residence of the Lady of the Sycamore in Memphis. She told Re about the things that Tehuti said to her when she met him, and the advice with which he comforted her heart. Then the goddess brought him before Re at the feast. Re praised him as Tehuti the thrice great god, and gladdened her heart by telling her that Tehuti the thrice great god was his father. She was speaking his praises. before Ray Ray made a lotus sacrifice for him, and he made a divine hymn for him. The song and the blessing of the monkey. Its words, what kind of God are you to me? What kind of God are you to me? Have you not appointed the bull, the lord of mating, for Satis the great lady of Elephantine? Have you not sacrificed a red bull to Heru the great lord of Ebfu? Have you not killed short-horned cattle for Nekhabet, lady of Nekheb? Have you not taken a golden seal in your hand for Hathor, lady of Armont? Have you not made many great libations for Mut the great, lady of Asheru? Have you not taken a golden censer in your hand for the god of Koptos? Have you not made the men women shake their hair for the goddess in the far lands? Have you not taken a wreath of green leaves for Hathor Mut, lady of, is daughter the architect who built the tower of Hathor? Have you not made the men women shake their hair for the goddess of Hu? Have you not raised for the goddess of Hut Jephau? Have you not taken up a drum to acclaim the goddess of Akhmim? Have you not taken up a green and red cloth for the goddess, the mistress of number? Have you not taken a green palm branch in your hand for Hathor, the lady of Kusai? Very little survives of column 23, which probably contained the final part of the hymn and the end of the story. What?
Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today we're diving into ancient Egyptian literature. Yeah, super interesting stuff. We've got a fragmented.
Can y'all hear that? Hotep, can y'all hear that?
And energy in the background. That's what you're talking about?
Powerful Nubian tax office to come back to Egypt.
You can hear that?
And it's not
Yes. Yes.
Already created my presentation before I found out that this was just an excerpt from the story. And I felt like I needed to share the whole story with you. And the reason why I felt like that was because the little clip or the beginning of the story or what's printed in the book is just a story about a lion and a mouse. Whereas the whole story is actually about Tehuti and Sekhmet. And I think that the story is very nefer. I'm definitely looking forward to finding the actual papyrus that it's written on, because like I said, all I could find was some Greek writings, and I did find something that was in another language. I gotta get Ani to help me translate it. But another thing I found was I found maybe 4 or 5 different Ptolemaic books on spells, and it's supposed to be about this papyrus. So yeah, I just felt like I wanted to share the whole story with you guys, as opposed to just that little excerpt, making you think that the story is just about a lion and a mouse, when the actual story is about Tehuti giving wisdom to Sekhmet, and going to bring her back, and then being celebrated for his parables or stories that he was sharing with her. He was sharing stories with her about sight and hearing. He was sharing stories with her about vultures. Yeah, it's a very deep story. So I wanted to share that, even though I didn't have the visuals prepared, because like I said, I didn't find the whole story until way afterwards. And then the archive website didn't go back online until it was kind of too late. So Hotep Hinu, I hope everyone appreciated that reading. I'm definitely going to add some visuals to the bulk of the story. It's going to take me some time, but I'm definitely going to create to that. But yeah, that's it. Merriam Litcham's Volume 3, page 151, The Lion in Search of Man. And by the way, that's the name of the story in that book. But when I found it in the the book that the Ptolemies wrote, it's actually called The Myth of the Solar Eye. The Myth of the Solar Eye. Let me see if I can share that. I think I can share that with you guys. Let me go here. Let me share what I got with y'all just to show you real quick. Oh, right here. Trying to screen share. Let's see. I think I can find it. Let's see, is this it right here? Yeah, here it goes. Right here, boom. I don't know if my screen is this sharing.
Yes.
You can see it says
The
text.
Myth of the Solar Eye.
Yes, that's the name of the story. And as you can see, the script is in Demotic. So that was the story that I read. See, it's pretty long. And yeah, I read all of this right here. This is the whole story. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, 384 P leading. 384 is the papyrus. I want everyone to go look this up right here. P leading 384. It's not gonna be on the first few pages of Google or whatever you use, but I want you guys to dig because there's some very interesting books that I found. As you can see, the script is demotic. And I found a lot of interesting things. And these are the stories. The cat and the vulture, the two vultures, the sight and the hearing, the lion and the jackal, and the lion and the mouse. So this is the only part that's in the book. But there's so much of the papyrus that's missing. I mean, like, I've only been able to find a small piece of it. Like just a little small piece of the writing. I definitely need to help me out. But yeah, and then they was using words like dog, monkey. I just said Tehuti, like we all know, because some of the words I didn't like the way it was being said. So I changed dog, monkey to Tehuti. So I encourage everyone to go try to find this papyrus. And this was the first time that I started looking for something and I couldn't find very much. So it piqued my interest and it made me fall into a rabbit hole. And I was digging and digging and digging. And I kind of got lost in that rabbit hole because now I want to know more about this actual story and why it hasn't never been translated. Like what's so special about this? But as I find, there's a lot of magical papyruses that are written from this. So I can't really connect it yet. I don't know. But the things that I did find were, it said magical, it said Heka, and it said this P leading 384 magical papyrus. That's the name of the papyrus. So yeah, I hope everyone appreciated it. And that is my share. Otep Henu.
Hotep, great brother. That was I was wondering how the Tehuti fit in the story, because I was like, this is Nefer, because learning more about Tehuti is always an amazing thing. And then after you shared it and shared that it was his interaction with SEKHMET, made it make sense. So Hinu Hotep, to you, great brother. That was incredible. I love the visuals. The visuals are powerful. Now you got the visuals that move while you're telling the story. I really like that. And then in the beginning piece, it's no one more cunning than man. May you not fall in the hands of man. So I like how that was like a repeating theme in the story, because that's really powerful. Because in the Pathways to Awakening, I was having a very powerful conversation with some of the members, and we were talking about how much manipulation is such a part of the matrix, right? And so to have that as a repeating theme to remind us is very powerful, and to help us to understand how powerful it is that we are in Ma'at, and that we are not following in the footsteps of the matrix, and being cunning and trying to deceive people. So it was a very powerful story. Definitely have to revisit that and learn more about Tehuti's relationship with SEKHMET. That was really powerful. And then there was one part of the story you said, I can make for you an amulet that you will never die. And so that's the beautiful thing about the followers of Ma'at, and these stories. This literature is very powerful, and the spells, the hekau, the science, the art, the astrological architecture, how it was all tied together, was extremely powerful. So Hinu Hotep, to you, great brother, for sharing that story.
Hotep, Hinu to you, great brother. I appreciate you, and two up for that, great brother. Just trying to learn, man. I got lost, bro. I really did, because I was gonna do two different stories, two different short ones. I was gonna do that one, and then I was gonna do the I found a story called The Red Crown. But a lot of these stories, it's just I could stay working on it forever. Like I could just stay like digging into it, because like this was the first time that I wasn't able to find something. Usually I go and I find a story in one of the books, and then I'll go and I'll look up the papyrus, and it's there. You go to Wikipedia, it's all there. You go to Internet Archives, the books are there, everything is there. This one, I couldn't find anything. So it made me more curious to keep digging and keep digging and keep digging. And then I came across the Demotic script, which actually had most of the story. So yeah, I encourage everyone to, wherever you're at is a good place, because that's the only place you can grow from, is where you're at. So, be proud of where you're at, and definitely just continue to strive to move forward. So two off of that, great brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, Hotep, Hinu, great Atef. I just want everybody to know this, that when you're a very busy being, and you have a lot of things to juggle between loved ones and bringing in presentations and taking care of the children, and you find yourself in a particular situation to where you don't know even if you have time to build and bring a presentation. Atef just showed you. regardless of the matter, when in doubt, hey, the show must go on, right? You must continue to dig deep like Atef did. And I mean, I always say this, man, like, hey, Atef could have easily been like, hey, brothers, I had a lot to deal with. I can't present today. What do you do with that then? Right? Like, hey, yeah, things got busy. I couldn't present today. So I didn't see it as a rant in the beginning. To me, that was just me listening to your day by day. Whatever you got to juggle with, great brother, and whatever you have to sustain on your shoulders. I appreciate you presenting what you presented today, and you stuck with it. You could have easily bowed out and say, "Hey, I can't do it today." So Tua, for that wonderful Nefer reading. That's beautiful to me, great brother. And I appreciate your effort. I appreciate the consistency. I appreciate you juggling with others don't understand what you're juggling and what you're doing, trying to become the great Atef Rem MAAT and still battling the matrix. Henu and Tua to you, great brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you staying devoted to the House of ATEN, and just continue, brother, to press forward and know your next move. So Hotep Henu.
To our great brother, I appreciate that. It's definitely a lot with these presentations. Definitely been busy. It's like we had an extra week, but it's like we didn't, because I've been preparing. It's just a lot. But I don't look at it. Remember what I told you before? I said it's all part of the process. So even today was really busy and presenting this, and I think it would have been easier had I done the 2 short stories than if I would have just kept it like this. And I really wanted to add the visuals to the bulk of the story, but like I said, I didn't find the whole story until way after. And I'm definitely gonna redo it and add the visuals to the whole part of the story. But I just want to say that's how they part of the game, bro. Because this whole story is about Tehuti giving wisdom through the stories about the animals, and he's giving wisdom to SEKHMET. So it's not a story about just a lion and a mouse, right? Even though that's a great story too. Just in showing that, even though the mouse is smaller than you or weaker than you, that you don't know how your help is gonna come, right? You might be the one in the better situation at the moment, and then you take for granted maybe someone in a weaker or less situation, like the mouse. But the lion showed the mouse mercy. The lion did not eat the mouse, because the mouse said, "Hey, you can eat me, but you're not going to be satiated anyway." And then, good thing for him, he didn't. And later on, he ended up benefiting, and the mouse gave him a gift, the same gift that he gave him. Whereas in the beginning, he laughed about it and thought that, that he was that he had the advantage. So again, there's the wisdom of being fair and ma'at and not being a bully. It's so much wisdom in this story, bro. Like, as I was doing it, and I'm like, man, I really wanted to add the visuals to it, and I just, again, I didn't have time. But just the parables in the story, just Tehuti is talking, bro, and he's talking about vultures. It's just beautiful, man. So for me, this is nothing more that it's nothing that I rather do. I just want to learn. So this right here is fuel for me. It gives me energy, right? And you guys know two off for my SEKHMET statue, great brothers. But yeah, this gives me energy. And again, I thought it was just a story about a lion and a mouse, but it's actually a story about SEKHMET and Tehuti, SEKHMET, Bastet, and Tehuti. So yeah, Hotep, Hinu to you, great brother. Peace and love. Tua.
What you say? You a statue? You got a statue? Show and prove. Show and prove. You ain't got no statue. What you talking about? Your sound is off. We can't hear you. Oh, okay. Let me see.
Don't do that. You know you can see that, and you see the red light behind me.
Hey, y'all looking at the scent netter banging. Hey, we out here smelling good. We out here, everybody good, man. Hey, the smell god. If y'all need them oils, holla at a tough. I'm gonna just put that out there right now.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Like I say, I need you to find this papyrus for me, great brother, or send it to me. I know you got it. If you don't, I definitely have to dig into this story, because this is the first time that I couldn't find something, and it literally upset me, because I was digging and I was like, well, why I can't find it? It's just a story about a mouse and a lion. What's so significant about it? But all of our writings from our ancestors is significant. But this one is very hard to find, so you guys keep looking.
All right. Excuse me. Hotep, great brother. Tua for this reading and this particular story, and doing some chem, some digging. Oh, where'd you go, great brother? Still there? Yeah, there you are. Doing some digging to find the complete story, as much as we have it, because yes, you are correct in Lithium, how she just picks out the lion and the mouse portion. So Tua for going back and and finding the entire story of Tefnut, and having to and Tehuti having to teach through these different stories of wisdom, right? To bring her from the Hesi, from what people today know as Nubia, back forward. So Tua for that, and still creating the sound version, and I'm looking forward to seeing the visuals with that. I loved how the visuals were doing something different in this one. There's a lot of animation, and it looked like 4-dimensional, right? It was like alive. So that was phenomenal. It's like, how'd he do that? That was nice. So to our great brother for that. And yeah, speaking about your process and finding and doing your research, and coming across different papyri, and all what goes into that, to be able to find some of this, to bring it forward, because we have so much that isn't just in a book that's, you know, written in English. A lot of the research are done in different languages, you know, German or Russian, and so sometimes a lot of what we're looking for are done within scholarship of different languages, and it's not so easily accessible to find it in English because it doesn't exist. So that's part of the process in finding the research and doing the digging. So TUA for that, and showing the consistency of that and the discipline of wanting to find something and beginning down that pathway of finding it. So I'm very excited to see that part as well, just as much as the actual reading, because it's a lot of this is not easy to just find. So TUA for bringing it back, and the very first one where you showed just the lion and the mouse and the visuals with that was just so nefer. So I'm super excited to see it in its completed state, and where this story can exist in audio form and visual form for everyone to absorb the teachings of Tehuti in the way that he told it, to bring forth calmness. And so it's very deep. So to our great brother Henu Makaru, to you for this, and I hope everyone who is here with us supporting what this great brother is doing, and making sure to show him love for all the works that go into this, right? Creating something is one part, and then the actual research to put it within what it is that you're creating is a whole nother thing. So yes, just I love this story. Another I wasn't when Atef brought it to me, he asked me about it, and I wasn't too familiar with it, and the reason why was because the lion and the mouse part. I was familiar with the myth of the Eye of Ra, of Tefnut coming from the Eye of Ra and going into Nehesi, but as how I do research and how I read is, it takes me a very long time to make it through a book, because I don't just read it all the way through. It's section by section, an organization of different parts of what I'm looking for. But yeah, to our great brother for bringing this forward, and all of the demotic papyri, which is the later form of the MEDU, you know, usually becomes more popularized around 600 BCE on forward into the Ptolemy, Greek, AD, Roman time. So while, and I love that part of the that time period as well, because we know that this is when the biblical writings were beginning to be cultivated, and this is what they had access to, all of the demotic. And you brought up the Greek magic papyri and all of that they was going into during that time, 300 BCE. This was 300 AD, of how this is still being cultivated. MEDU is still being written. The stories are still being told and created. So there's a lot of demotic papyri that have a mixture of Greek in it, just to show how much influence went into the Greek. There's a Greek version of this writing, as you showed. There's an actual papyrus written in the Greek language of this same exact story. So just having that is very important to know, just to show the actual influence that we know that the Remetu had on the Greeks and the rest of the world. So to take the MEDU stories and then translate them into the Greek language, and the stories continued in different various aspects of the writings, and this is just one of many that took place in that, especially when it comes to the Heka and the magic that they put and started to create their own stories, to create their own origin source, because without it, there's no original writings of any origin story. So Tu'a for this, great brother. I love this time period and going into the Demotic papyri, and just seeing how creative of scribes we were, of writers, and being able to tell stories metaphorically and teaching. And I love this this in particular because it's the focus is just on nature, on nature, on the animals, and how man is taking advantage of nature around. And the lion is traversing, asking all the questions like, who did this? Oh, it was man who did it. And this is a man writing this, right? So to put yourself into the perspective of the lion or the animals, of how that they look at men, was very creative, and takes an inward eye to be able to look outside of yourself from a different perspective, especially the animals, and to tell a story, to teach, leading all the way to the mouse, and how that reciprocity was given, right? How that reciprocity was initiated, right? And that's what we always teach and talk about. And if the lion would not have never did what he did, the reciprocity of not doing it would have been his same action, would have been his same result that he gave to the mouse. So it's very deep in teaching about the purpose and the strength of reciprocity when doing something that you technically do not have to do, but you do it for the benefit of having a, right? Because the whole story is about the lion, which is the hati. That's the forepart of the lion, which is another word for heart, or the ebe. To be a leader, to be up front with your heart. So this was phenomenal, great brother. Tu'a Hotep Henu Makaru, Ankh Jed Ustir. To you, great brother. And I love that you're bringing forth these stories of the great cats, the great felines. So Tu'a for representing, great brother. Makaru to you, Hotep.
Tu'a Nini to you, great brother. I appreciate you. I meant for you to show me that resource, but we were so busy, time didn't permit it. But Hotep Hinu to you, great brother. I actually didn't know it was about SEKHMET until I started digging. I just, I took it for what it was, about a mouse and a lion, and went to creating, and then got pulled into the rabbit hole. So Tu'a to you, great brother, for your motivation and inspiration, and the great brothers on the panel here, because that's what we got to do. We got to keep evolving and keep building brick by brick. So I didn't get discouraged, although I was like, man, I should still do the 2 different short stories, but I wanted to tell as much of the story in its completeness as possible. So that was my point in doing that. So
yes, and if in the dictionary, in Budge's dictionary, there is there's a word in there SEKHMET, or it's either TEHUT'S, SEKHMET, Bast, or SEKHMET Bast Ra. And it speaks about TEHUT'S, SEKHMET being a Nubian Netert, Nubian goddess in the dictionary. And this is a story where it got that from, and showing the fusion of the different feline aspects of TEHUT'S, SEKHMET, and Bast. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like, the stories are so they're so deep, and they're in abundant. So yes, it's usually how it works, right? And showing your research is always going to lead you to what your Ebe is wanting to find. That's part of the Heka and the digging and the Kim, the Aku, bringing forth that conscious light through the intention that you want to have. And it's how I find a lot of my research, is by just setting that intent, and then just digging and allowing the Pa'ut and the Natiru to bring it forward. And they do every time. And that then enhanced the organization skills, and being able to save, document, and organize what you find within those states, because you may not be able to find it again if you don't record it in that moment. So yes, to our great brother, I have a couple things regarding this papyrus, and there's a few Laden papyruses that I study. One of them is Laden 350. It's a great papyrus. But yes, yeah, Hinu to you, great brother, and yeah, keep bringing these motion pictures the way that you do, and bringing forth the writings of the great ancestors in visual form. So much aku to you.
To our great brother.
Peace, brothers. I have a quick question. I think you had mentioned what people are calling area they're calling Nubia. Did you say Nessie? What is the name?
Nahesi.
Nahesi.
Mm-hmm.
To
okay. Yes, to everyone who is supporting this class, and I'll post the link for you all to come up and let the great brother know of what you thought of the story and what he presented. Okay, there we are. So yes, hit the link and come up to the panel and support the class. Support the class. It's a beautiful thing, what's taking place. So I don't know if y'all can hear, probably so, but I'm recovering from a immune cleansing. So my voice is very, try not to use it as much as I come forward. So Tua, and yes, there is the link. Make sure. Okay.
Honey, I gave you some of that tincture.
Yes, you did.
Hey, some of my wellness tincture. All right.
Absolutely. Got the
Works
Atef
wonders.
tincture.
It works wonders, great brother.
Absolutely. I take it, great brother. 2 up for that.
In here, great brother.
So yes, let me I'm gonna pass it to you, great brother, until see if anyone wants to come up and let me gather the support. So I'll pass it to you, great brother. Hotep. You're on mute.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
While you gather that, I'm gonna see if I can play something. See if y'all can hear it. Where's it at? Right here. I'm gonna play a back and forth. Can you hear this? Can y'all hear that right now?
It's really low.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could share it like this.
Are you sharing
The
the
link?
screen?
Well, I was trying to play something. I'm trying to play.
Deep dive.
The Lady of Kusai. Very little.
Turn the music down.
Okay, I'm sharing it now. Let me see. While we wait, I'm gonna play. Tell me what y'all think.
Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive.
Can you hear it?
Today
Yes.
we're diving into ancient Egyptian scripture. Oh, cool! Yeah.
You can hear that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me go and share it so you can hear it. You can hear it good though. Is it loud?
We could hear it. It could go up a little bit.
Okay. Let me make it louder. Yeah.
Super interesting stuff.
Can you
We
hear
got a
it?
fragmented story about Tahuti.
Yes.
Can y'all hear?
Yes, yes, we can hear it.
Say no
Linus,
sound.
That's a powerful image.
Definitely. It's a symbol of
Minku, you the only one that can hear.
It's like she's saying, don't underestimate me.
Exactly.
I bet Tehuti was
I
terrified.
think
Oh,
it's
he was understandably so. But
Hotep Hush Nation, peace, great brother. Can you hear me?
Hotel, bro, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful.
Oh, Tap, can you hear me? They said they couldn't hear, Ani. Was you able to hear?
I could hear, but
I could hear everything too.
It said in the chat, Amun Ka said he couldn't hear. Say it wasn't, he put up the speaker sound. You ready for the supporter? I'm gonna finish playing.
yes, you can finish playing.
Let me see. Hotep Minty. Let me try. Let me go back and play it again. Okay.
Hotep, can I be heard?
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'll go back, share audio.
She's still skeptical.
Yeah, she's not convinced by clever stories alone.
She needs something more.
Right. She needs something genuine to make her want to come back to Egypt.
And this is where things get really dramatic.
Oh yeah, that's to go down.
Yeah.
She decides to show Tehuti just how powerful she really is.
Uh-oh. How does she do that?
It's pretty intense. The text describes her transforming into a lioness.
Whoa. Linus, that's a powerful image.
Definitely. It's a symbol of her fury and strength.
Yeah, it's like she's saying, don't underestimate me.
Exactly.
I bet Tehuti was terrified.
Oh, he was, understandably so.
Mm.
But being the god of wisdom, he manages to regain his composure.
Phew. So what does he do?
Well, first he tries to appeal to her with some flattery.
Okay.
And then, of course, he tells her another story.
Another one. This guy loves his stories. What's this one about?
It's called The Story of Sight and Hearing.
I don't think I know that one.
It's a good one. It basically says nothing can be hidden from Ra, the sun god.
Oh, wow.
And that ultimately justice always prevails.
So he's reminding her of the consequences of her actions without directly challenging her.
You got it. It's a very strategic move.
Wow, he's good. So does this finally convince her?
It seems to be the turning point.
Yeah.
She agrees to go back to Egypt.
Yes, but I bet it's not that simple.
You know it. It's never that easy. She agrees to return, but only on her own terms.
Oh, of course. So how does she want to do it?
This is where it gets really interesting. She transforms into a vulture for the journey back.
A vulture? That's a little unexpected. Why a vulture?
It's super symbolic. You see, in ancient Egypt, vultures are connected to motherhood and protection.
Okay.
But they're also scavengers. So it's a complex return. It suggests that she's coming back with this nuanced understanding of her role.
Oh, I
Like
do.
she's capable of both nurturing and destruction.
Wow, that's fascinating. And I can't help but think about Nekhbet, the protector goddess of Upper Egypt.
Oh, good point. She was often depicted as a vulture, too.
Right. So is the cat goddess coming back with this protective role in mind?
It's definitely possible. This transformation adds a whole other layer to her return.
Yeah, it suggests like a shift in her perspective.
Exactly. Maybe she's ready to embrace this new role in Egypt.
This is incredible. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
You know, it's interesting how Tehuti handles this whole journey back.
Yeah, how so?
Well, he's obviously relieved that she agreed to go back,
Right.
but he's still walking on eggshells a little bit.
Oh, I bet. Because of her power.
Exactly.
Hmm.
He knows he's got to keep her happy.
So what does he do?
He starts offering her all these delicacies like date wine and figs.
Like he's trying to sweeten the deal.
Totally. Like, hey, remember all the good stuff back in Egypt?
Yeah. So what's her reaction to all this? Is she into it?
It's kind of funny. She seems tempted by the treats, but she's like, nothing compares to what I can get in Egypt.
Oh, so she's already looking forward to being back?
Yeah, she's totally anticipating all the abundance and richness.
It sounds like she's starting to reconnect with her Egyptian roots.
Exactly. Like she's rediscovering her appreciation for the place.
That's really cool. And what else happens?
Well, there's this part where she even starts talking about the scent of Kemetic sand and the feel of the Nile water.
Wow. So she's really immersing herself in those sensory memories.
Totally. Like she can almost feel it already.
Yeah, I love that. It really emphasizes those deep connections.
Oh, absolutely. And then there's this scene with a sycamore tree.
Okay.
Tehuti climbs the tree and eats the figs. But the whole time he's gazing longingly towards Egypt.
Ah, that's kind of sweet. It's like he's homesick too.
Yeah, he totally is.
Yeah.
And the goddess notices.
Oh, no.
But she's playful about it. She starts teasing him, offering him all these different sycamore treats.
Like she's testing him.
Yeah. It's like she's saying, are you really loyal to Egypt, or are you going to stay here with me and eat sycamore stuff?
Haha. So how does Tehuti respond to that?
Well, he stays strong.
Good for him.
He's like, nope, nothing compares to the sycamore on my mountain in Egypt.
So he's doubling down on his love for home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a funny little moment.
It is. But you know, this whole journey is way more than just personal longing, right?
Oh, for sure. There's this bigger implication with her return.
Right. She's a goddess after all.
Yeah. So when they finally get back to Egypt, they go to Thebes first.
Okay.
And they have this huge 7-day festival to welcome her back.
7 days. That's a long party.
Yeah, it's a massive celebration.
It really shows how important she is.
Absolutely. Thebes was a major religious and political center.
Right.
So this festival would have had all these elaborate rituals and ceremonies.
Wow, that's incredible. So does everything go smoothly from here on out?
Well, not exactly. There's this part where she gets attacked by a serpent.
Oh no. What
A
how?
symbol of chaos and danger. You know,
Yeah.
like those forces that drove her away are still lurking.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So even with her return, there's still trouble.
Yeah, it's not a complete fix. But guess who comes to her rescue?
Tehuti.
You got it. He protects her from the serpent.
Wow. So he's not just a smooth talker, he's also a protector.
He is. And this seems to really solidify her trust in him.
That's a big turning point in their relationship.
It is. She even says, do you not know that returning to Kemet is better than many green stones?
Ooh, that's a powerful statement.
It is. It shows that she's realizing her true place is in Egypt.
I love that. So is this the end of her transformation?
Nope, not quite.
Hmm.
The text describes her changing again, this time into a gazelle.
A gazelle. Okay, so we've got a cat goddess who's been a lioness, a vulture, and now a gazelle. What's going on with all these transformations?
It's like she's exploring all these different parts of herself and her connection to Egypt. The gazelle is often associated with grace and agility. You know?
Right.
So maybe it represents this newfound freedom she's feeling.
Oh, that's a cool interpretation. So it's like a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, exactly. And Tehuti is her guide along the way.
That's beautiful. So they're headed to Memphis next, right?
They are. Another big city in ancient Egypt.
What happens there?
This is where she finally gets an audience with Ra, the sun god.
Ooh, that's a big deal. What does she say to him?
She tells him all about her journey. And she highlights how much Tehuti helped her come back.
Ah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So what does Ra think of all this?
He's impressed. He praises Tehuti.
on his shoulders.
Definitely. It shows how much he cared about bringing her back.
It's amazing how much emotion is packed into this story.
It really is. Even the gods experience challenges and, complicated feelings.
Yeah, it makes them feel more real and relatable.
Right. They're not just these perfect, distant figures.
Definitely not. This has been such an amazing deep dive.
I agree. It's incredible how much we can learn from a piece of papyrus that's thousands of years old.
Right. And it makes you think about all the stories that are still out there waiting to be discovered.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And the ones that might be lost forever.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
It is. But you know what else this story reminds us?
What's that?
That stories have this incredible power to connect with us across time and culture. Like they help us understand the human experience, even when it involves gods and goddesses.
Right. And it makes you wonder about the stories we tell ourselves.
Totally. Like the narratives that shape how we see the world.
Yeah, and the voices that we haven't heard yet.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
perspectives that are still hidden. This story encourages us to go out and find those missing pieces.
Wow. That's a powerful thought.
It is. It's all about embracing the complexity of these narratives.
Well said. This deep dive has been so thought-provoking.
I agree. It's amazing how much wisdom we can find in these ancient texts.
Yeah, they still have so much to teach us today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They challenge us and inspire us, even after all this time.
Yeah, it really humanizes them, right? Like they're not these perfect beings.
No, not at all. And you see that throughout the story. Like there's jealousy and pride, even anger and cunning.
Wow. So they really do reflect these human qualities.
They do.
Yeah.
Even though they're gods and goddesses.
And that's what makes it so relatable.
Exactly. It's like we can see ourselves in these characters.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive has been incredible.
I know, right? It's amazing to think this story has survived for thousands of years.
It is. And it's still so powerful and relevant today.
It really is. It speaks to the enduring power of stories.
Totally. Like they can transport us to different times and places.
They can. And they challenge us to think differently.
Yeah, and to question our assumptions.
Exactly. Like this story makes us think about persuasion and belonging and the complexities of home.
Right. It's not always simple.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest takeaway from this ancient Egyptian tale?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's a reminder that stories can bridge these huge gaps.
Gaps.
Yeah, like gaps of time and culture.
Oh, I see.
And they can illuminate these shared human experiences.
That's beautifully said. I love that.
Thanks. And you know what else it makes me think about?
What's that?
The stories that we tell ourselves.
Oh, yeah. The ones that shape our own worldview.
Exactly.
And it makes you wonder about the stories that we're missing.
The ones we haven't heard yet.
Right. Like whose voices are being silenced, whose perspectives are hidden.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to keep searching for those missing pieces.
Absolutely. And to be open to different interpretations.
I agree. Well, this deep dive has certainly given me a lot to think about.
Me too. It's amazing how much wisdom we can find in these ancient texts.
Yeah, they still have so much to teach us, even after all this time.
It's true. And that's what makes studying them so rewarding.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Already.
I know it flew by, but don't worry, we'll be back next week with another fascinating topic.
Can't wait.
So until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the world around you.
And keep listening.
Hotep, Hush Nation, what's good, great brother?
All right, Hotep Enu.
Hotep Inu.
Hotep Enu. Yeah, I appreciate that presentation. That was a real effort presentation yourself. I like how you bring that story to the light. Else I know when it would have been brought forth, but I definitely appreciate you bringing across another deep bill, and this one real deep self going into the animals and everything, so I definitely appreciate that one, my brother. Hotep Marie.
Many here, great brother. Two are to you, great brother, too.
Hotep Minty. Peace and love. How you feeling?
Peace and love, Hotep Henu, everyone. I'm feeling great. This was a great never lesson, Brother Atef. Like you never fail in the bringing the right message in at the right time. So Tua for that. I think the deep dive that you played afterwards was just the right amount of cuteness and humility for people to relate to it. I think the curiosity in the woman's voice is inspiring because she did have a lot of valid points with bringing these ancient stories into modern day. That's what I got out of it. So there is a lot of lessons to be learned, and I think that was Nefer.
To our great sister, it was great to see you this weekend. Definitely looking forward to seeing you and spending more time. As the great brother said, we definitely got to do this more often. And Tua for those great words, sister. Tua, Hinu to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that Heka Nefer, I'm wearing it all the time. It's beautiful. I love it. I even wear it to bed. I wear it to the Upesh.
Tua, I'm glad you like it.
Nani Uk. Yes, this last weekend was a great weekend for us to all connect in person, and yeah, I really do agree with you. I think we need to have these maybe on a quarterly base, like every 4 months we get together a couple of times out of the year. I know Brother Manku loves coming to California, so that will be a good excuse for him to get out to California every chance that he can get, and that way we can all be there to support each other, because I know all of us are going through a transformation, and we need support from people that are going through the same types of transformations. And it was great to finally meet your whole family.
Tua, yes. It was great for them to come. It's a lot when you're traveling with everybody. It's very challenging, but it was good. I'm glad that they were able to come and meet you and meet all the brothers and sisters, meet Saba, just spend time together in that energy. So I definitely look forward to it. So
Yes, it, it was great. Yes, absolutely. It was great to meet everyone's family. Gabriella and Brother Dejed, their children that they brought with them, very Nefer, very good energy, and we keep the children surrounded with a positive influence, and being in Ma'at, that will just inspire them to do the same. So the reciprocity just keeps on growing. So Tua for that.
All right, Hotep. I will share the screen to show the support. Tua to those of you who support this. Appreciate you greatly. And we will close out. Okay, let me share screen. All right, and here we are. Here are the supporters for today's class. We have Amun and Amunet, Cool Cats, who sends in $10 for Hotep Marie, Tua, or Sin Atef. This reading is Nefer Hinu with a Kemetic. Tua to the great Amun and Amunet. Tua for all that you are doing, for your consistency, for your support, for your participation. Much gratitude sent to you for all that you all are doing. So Hotep Ma'at. And next we have the great Sinette Angela Gates, who sends in $10 for peace and love. Hotep Marie, to you as well. Very consistent sister here who always supports. And I know she appreciates all that is taking place here. Tua for bringing Son of Keparah with you to the pathways. I was hoping to see him in the chat with us this evening. So you can pass that message to him, great Sinette. Tua for your support and being a wonderful, loyal Shimsu of Ma'at. And next we have the great Basatut Maka Oxafek here, 2072 for Hotep Dua, Nefer reading Atef Rem Ma'at Hinu. Hinu to you, great brother. You know the appreciation we have for you as well, great brother. Tua for supporting every single class. Tua for being present in every class and leading by example for someone who takes this information and the teachings and the guidance as serious as you do, and showing what that looks like. So Tua to you, great brother, for that. And lastly, we have the great brother on the panel with us, Fix, who sends in 666 for Tua Atef Rem Ma'at. That was a very interesting story. Hotep, my brother. The Maru of the house of ATEN. Tua to the great Fix. Hinu to you, great brother. All that you do.
Come join us, House of ATEN, Ancient Tehutian Teachings under Tiru. Back to the source, we the original Axemen.
Okay. Tua Fix, great brother. For that, it was great getting to spend some time with you and speak with you and build. Great brother, to watch you perform and yeah, just to hear some of your stories. It was fantastic. Much love to you and continued growth and protection for you, great brother. Tua.
Nini up, my brother. Nini up. Same here. It was an honor. I had a blast for sure. Definitely. Finally getting to meet everybody in person. It was definitely an honor getting to share our different stories beyond the whole online, internet, YouTube. So, yeah, it was an effort for sure. Appreciate you letting me be a part of the House of ATEN, you know, so I definitely appreciate that. Atef Rem I just respect how all the family man them does move, you know. I watch how the man them does move with the family, and I respect that a lot, you know. I see how Primordial does move with family. I respect that a lot, you know. My brother Dejet and Atef, how the youths them was operating with the products, the knowledge. Your youth man, salute your youth man, Atef. I respect that young soldier self. Yeah, man, it was an honor. I had a blast. Tua so much for that adventure. Tua for that so much.
Nini, a great brother. It was good to see you as well. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the future.
Same here, my brother. Nini up. To us so much. And the 3 drops is only once a day for the moringa, the mango, ginger.
Yeah, once a day or as needed. You know, if you have something going on, you know, you could take it a little more often.
Okay. I just checking. It tastes good at the same time, but I ain't gonna overdose on it though.
That's what my daughter say. My daughter, she'll just take it. She said she'll rather take that than the oregano oil. See, I didn't bring that good SEKHMET SEKHMET breath. Man, listen, I wasn't gonna get it in time, but the next time you guys see me, you guys are gonna see me. I'm gonna have some oregano oil. That's really, really, really good. It's like one of my favorites. So 2 out to you, great brother.
Nini up. 2 out to you too, my brother.
I'll be looking forward to the oil of oregano. That's one of my favorites. The most potent. I think it's the most potent too.
Yeah, it is. It's really strong. And I get the batch that I get, it has about usually no less than 87% carvacol. And the carvacol is the actual we'll just say the medicine part of the oregano oil. Turmeric, curcumin is the medicine part of the turmeric. You know, carvacol, it is for oregano oil. So yeah, the percentage is really high that I get is usually 87% or above. So really strong.
Okay, I hear a class coming on for the health benefits. That's all Nefer knowledge.
Yes, it is. Atef. Just trying to learn, Minty.
What I think is beautiful is that while we're on our path and our journey to learn, others learn from our process. So I think that's very beautiful and it's very vulnerable. It leaves us out here to discover things about us that are a part of us that we haven't discovered, but by connecting with others and them learning from what we know, we discover that part of us. So I think that's very Nefer to all of you for your dedication and your time.
Neb Nefer Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
Hotep Henuma Karu. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. So 2 out to the great Atef Rem MAAT for bringing this forward. And yes, we shall begin the conclusion of this wonderful reading. And we'll start with you, Minty Hotep, and then we'll go to Hush Nation, and then Minku Ara. Hotep.
Sure. Hotep Henu to our great leader, Saba Tehuti. It's always an extreme joy to see you in person and to interact with you and to share space with you. I heard Brother Dejed bring up when we were chatting, kind of like an interview style where we're just all gathered around him, listening to him, and I think that energy, it needs to be duplicated. It needs to be a regular thing. It's an honor to have access to him the way that some of us have access to him. And I just want to send Neb Marie to Saba Tehuti. This Pathways to Awakening was very awakening. I love seeing everybody interact in the style that they interact because it's perfect. Like I said, we're all learning things about us through others. And I think that's what community does. At the same time, supporting others while they're in their transformation. The reading today was great. Like I said, Brother Atef always has a way of picking the perfect piece of literature to go along with whatever's happening in my world. So Tua for that awareness, and you know, just keep it going. I think the energy is great. The energy is perfect in the House of the 10. So Henu and Hotep to the Natiru and the Paraten. And congratulations everybody for receiving their Nefer Rem. I hope that you step into that role in the most powerful, healing way possible. And Hotep Henu to everybody in the chat.
Hotep Henu, everybody. Hotep Henu Dua. Saba Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra. Best wishes, all the best, nothing less. Pure Sekhmet. Greatest Ma'at, ever at the ready. Big Ma'at, big love. Big Marie. Big healing. Big prosperity. To the House of ATEN for letting me be a part of the operation. Salute everybody in the chat. Salute everybody for making the pathways to awakening a real Nefer vibe for me. For all the Nefer vibes right through. Appreciate the embracing. You know, chopping it up with Saba Tehuti, with the ATEN. When I say ATEN, I mean the snake, you know. You just feel the snake and then you feel the muscle in the snake. I never touched a snake in my life. The snake touched me, the snake just come up. And Saba just there with the snake. And, you know, Saba was talking to me, you know, but then at the same time I can't concentrate. Because the snake, that's the first time I ever touched a snake in my life. Yeah, but I had a blast. Everybody get the rain. Salute to Upesha Hati. You know, we just chop it up, we just had a blast. You know, everybody, we had a blast. And I'm looking forward to doing that again. And like you were saying, probably we could just cut it short instead of once every year, you know what I mean? And we gotta wait a whole 365 cycle again to link up, you know, so it would be never if we could do it more often than that, you know. And yeah, big appreciation, big love, Sekhmet, Hotep Marie.
Hotep Marie, peace and love everyone for your attention, for being here, for your dedication. Hotep Henu to you, Atef, for your strength, your dedication, your perseverance. Very Nefer story. It's a wonderful thing to be taught things and there being a pleasant surprise. There's so much to learn about Tamari, and little by little we're getting this information that is good for our development. Henu Hotep to our master teacher Saba Tehuti for bringing us together in this powerful way. Sending him peace, power, protection, and prosperity. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Saba has the class, and I will end with the adoration to Tehuti. Oh, peace and love to the brothers too on the panel. Peace and love to everybody on the panel right now. Peace and love to the leadership, Ani Patah, Atef Rem Kim, and Dejed. And I will end with the adoration to Tehuti. Come to me, Tehuti, O noble ibis. Come to me and give me counsel to make me skillful in your calling. He who masters it is found fit to hold office. Fate and fortune are to be found with you. Hotep Marie.
Peace, peace, peace and love to Hotep Henu, to everybody supporting the wonderful house of Aten, to the great mentee. Appreciate you. Love the fact that you on the panel. That brings great Mary to my Eve. To you, Huts Nation. Hey, you already know, great brother. Definitely enjoyed building with you, great brother. Tua, for traveling across the country. Definitely love that, great brother. Tua to you. I definitely enjoyed your presence, your energy, winning the talent show, everything. I just appreciate that, great brother. Tua to you, Tua to the great Atef Rem Kim MAAT for bringing his presentation today. Appreciate you, great brother. Hey, I love everybody. Hotep Mary, may Ra grant you and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of MAAT, and may you all rise and come forth this conscious light like the divine Ra, who rises to shine forevermore in MAAT. Hotep Mary.
Hotep Ma'at. Peace and love. Tua everyone who sent in support. Amun Amunet, Angela Gates, Ox Effect, and the great brother Fix, Hush Nation. Tua for supporting this class here, this stream. Much love to you all. Tua Hinu to everyone who gave your attention. Without your attention, this doesn't exist. So much love and Tua to everyone, all the Karu of the House of Aten. If you're not a part of the Karu, definitely make sure that you're a part of that. With all that is taking place within the House of Aten, this is a movement where each individual person has an important role to play, and for us to do more, we have to, as a collective, assist in that process. So I'm looking forward to the continued growth within everyone, and by default, when that takes place, the House of Aten grows because of each member as the body of Asar comes together, Tim complete, to be a complete being as Tim. So it's very Nefer. Much love and gratitude to everyone. Want to send Hotep Henu to Nukpu as well. I haven't seen that great brother in the chat today, which is unusual. So hope you are well, great brother. Sending you much Hotep Henu, Makaru, Uncle Jasineb. I hope you are well. And yes, as we continue to do what we do and continue to Kepara as a movement, as a whole, I'm excited for what all we can bring to the forefront for everyone to participate in and play a part in. And so that's the beautiful thing, you know. There's always new things that are happening, and there's always positions and roles to be filled. And with each fulfillment of that makes the foundation of the movement stronger and allows us to continue to expand and do more. So if there's anything that any particular person sees where that they can assist within the growth of the House of ATEN, please reach out. Reach out, and we will make that happen, because we want Saba Tehuti and his Aut to have something that is built from those of us who are reflections of him and his teachings. So it's a very beautiful thing. I'm very thankful for everyone, and I'm very happy that we're able to come together in the flesh and come together in these weekly classes. And for those who come to the MAAT fundamental classes on Fridays, which will be picked back up this coming up Friday. So make sure you're in the building November 1st if you're a Kuru. Be a part of those classes, which are rooted in the Seba'it, so we can come forward as true followers of Ma'at by implementing the teaching. So Tua Hotep Henu, Ma Kuru, Henu to the great Atef Rem Kim Ma'at, for all that you're doing, great brother. I remember bringing forward to that brother, I said, hey, this, you saying he's the scent God. We need some sense. I need some unjin from this great brother. Oh, you don't know what a tef means? Oh, and to now see it and be able to hold it in my hand, that a tef nectar and all these wonderful unjins that this great brother put together. I'm so happy to see that. So Hinu to you, great brother. Hinu to the great Miku Ara, Mary Ma'at, for organizing the pathways to awakening, which is a lot of work. So to our great brother for that. And for your Ebe, all that you do, great brother. Hinu and Tua to the great, the Jed Sajim Ma'ah. And this great brother inviting me to his home, and I was able to go and spend time with him and Gabriella and his Aut prior to the pathway. So that was wonderful, great brother. That's forever etched in my Ebe. So Tua for that experience, and opening up your purr to Nefertatinet and I. So Hotep Hinu to you, great brother. And I'll end with the Medu. SEKHMET Arit Murder Ka'a Simu Hatu Natiru Pert Entetep. I obtain the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead me. I come forth in offering. Hotep Hinu.
Hotep, peace and love. This is a beautiful Nefer night. Thanks for letting me share. It's I'm just grateful for the energy that we all create here, you know. I'm grateful to my great Saba, Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. Grateful to all the brothers and sisters for those beautiful words. I mean, you know, you inspire me, great brother. You know, it's all love. Hotep Mary. And it takes a lot doing these presentations. I really put all of my energy into it. Like hours. Like it's like days I just take work, just studying. And like you can't fake it. You have to, it's Ma'at or not. So shout out to the great brother Nook Poo, my great brother. I'm finna text that brother when we get off the air. And with that, we will close as we began with our beautiful affirmation. There we go, I can see it. From From tonight's teachings, when a crocodile grows old anywhere, it wants to die in the canal, which is its home. When a snake is tired, it seeks its hole to crawl into unless it smells a herb and coils up inside it. Ebony does not turn black in Kemet. By your face with its beautiful eyes, by the creating of beauty that dwells within you, by your looks that shine with happiness, by your face full of joy, from which the whole country lives, just as from the rays of the great disk of the sun, the said matter, it is prepared for you. The heart of the sun god remains sealed for it. Where you are, all the houses are built to hide it, and the Nile flows to cover it. During the day he flies to the sky with the birds. Every day he is in the water with the fish. He is the one who gives the south wind to the night barge, and the north wind to the day barge. Every day he sleeps and wakes with us. Unki and Ma'at, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Ma'at, Min Hepapet and Ma'at, Her in Hu Kiwi, Her Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
Yo, let's go.
Shed. Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed. Eating alkaline at this time, fasting rezo shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of states effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.